Rise and shine, Nigeria. Good morning and welcome to S24 Morning Digest, your trusted breakfast television program coming to you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. My name is Gloria Atta and I'll be your host for today. Stay tuned as we have a lot coming your way. A newspaper review comes up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back from that break. If you're just joining us, this is S24 Morning Digest, your trusted breakfast program coming to you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja, and on your trusted television station, S24 Television. It's now time for our newspaper review, where we are going to dig in and dissect national issues. What are the papers saying? What stories have the biggest headlines? And how does this affect us as a people? Joining me to dissect and unpack all of this is my colleague, Abubakar Turaki. Good morning, Abubakar.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too. So let's quickly dive into the affairs of today. And we're going to be taking a look at our first newspaper, which is The Independent. And on the front page, it says EFCC recovered over $500 million in 3 years. And that statement is coming from Olu Koyede, the EFCC boss. So let me just hear your thoughts. How significant is this recovery in Nigeria's fight against corruption?
Well, it is very, very significant, and congratulations to Nigerians.
Yeah.
This is to say our anti-graft agency are doing everything possible to see that they have bring back all the looted funds that were looted from the government coffers.
Yes.
And this is the Robin Hood we are calling for, collecting from the rich in order to give it to the poor. So yesterday we saw the chairman of EFCC, Ola Olukayede, when he went to Cambridge in one of the international summits. He went to Cambridge and he was able to share some of his experience as the executive chairman of the EFCC, making statement that he even actually so far almost 500 million US dollars has been recovered under his own stewardship as the EFCC chairman, and it's a good one. If you remember recently, these are the people that we know they actually got people like Achimugu. And we saw how they were able to at least recover some of the assets from Abubakar Malami. And recently, we even saw before he came on board, the EFCC were able to at least recover some of the assets from the CBN governor.
Yes.
Even there are kind of like almost 754 buildings that we were able to recover from those government officials. And he even made it clear and tells Nigerians that there is going to be a glad tidings, because this kind of asset recovery and forfeiting future, EFCC are not doing it just like that. Before they do it, they have to file a kind of like a court case. So the court is going to give them approval to do that. And recently we saw the kind of a lot of arrest and a lot of forfeitment of the future, which is really, really good. And he even went ahead and said that they are going to at least standardize and even increase the whistleblowing policy, in the sense that if you're in abroad, or even if you're in here, diaspora or domestic here, if you are able to at least blow out the whistle, and that led to the recovery of every government stolen fund or asset, I think you're going to have at least 2.5 or even 5% of the recovery asset, for as long as the government is trying to reach into a logical conclusion. And recently he even made it clear that part of the efforts he made under his own administration as the executive chairman of the EFCC is they were able to at least recover a kind of like an aircraft, which immediately when they recovered it, they were able to give it to the presidential fleet, and now the president is using it. And they have recorded a lot of success, and which I believe if the EFCC can do better more, the Economics and Financial Crimes Commission will be able to at least address most of the problem of corruption that we are currently facing. He even further went ahead and made it clear that what he is adopting under his own administration is also applicable in states like Australia and in states like Canada. So the fight against corruption is not only meant for the EFCC.
Yes, indeed. And I also, I've been following up on the activities of the EFCC in recent times, and to a reasonable extent, their activities do not just cut across the upper class. We have a number of significant arrests that have been made, even among low organized criminal syndicates, like the wire fraud syndicates and all of that. But another thing that is particularly that I believe we need to also talk about is beyond these confiscations, these prosecutions, because I know they have so many cases that are currently in court trying to, prosecute one person or the other, one official or the other. But how does this translate to the general fight against corruption in Nigeria? In your perspective, do you think that Nigeria is making headway right now in its fight against corruption?
Of course, it is making. Part of what he said, one of the major
points he raised.
Points, and one of the major things that aided them toward carrying out such operation. He made mention that one of the effort made by their own operative, there has been an intelligent gathering, and also the court, the judicial system was able to at least cooperate with them and give the verdict into what it's expected. I don't want to say the court give verdict to favor of the EFCC.
Yes.
And furthermore, he said that like intelligent gathering and whistleblowing policy among Nigerians also supported him during his 3 years in office. So for as long as they will continue to show neutrality, and as long as they will continue to be honest and transparent enough to at least bring Nigerians into the fight against corruption, I believe EFCC is going to be one of the best anti-graft agency in this country. And remember, EFCC is not the only anti-graft agency that is fighting corruption here.
Yes.
We also have ICPC is doing also the same, and we also have like Court of Conduct Bureau is also doing the same. But sometimes what we are currently facing and what we are actually happening is the influence of the political leaders, especially the elites. If they have interest on a particular case, they may likely not be able to allow you to exercise your own power
to
fight the problem of insecurity, because there has been accusation since the inception of EFCC somewhere around the tenure of Obasanjo, first tenure. Many people have accused the EFCC of being a kind of like just a department from the executive that was being created in order to witch hunt the opposition. But we cannot take away that. But the FCC is actually trying. Of course, if you look at the recent arrest, because I couldn't understand that why is the EFCC trying its best to fight corruption? But every time, no matter what, if you assume the mantle of leadership, before you leave office, there's going to be corruption case. Look at the likes of the former Attorney General of the Federation. When he was fighting corruption, when he fought corruption, especially with the repatriation of the Abacha loots. Yes. When we saw him going up and down, trying to at least, but at the tail end, this was the man that were able to at least almost 75 properties were linked to him. And at the end, the EFCC was able to at least forfeit almost 48 of his own properties, ranging from radio station, hotel, apartment, and many more.
But beyond these recoveries, we also have to look at if these monies are being translated to the Nigerian people. Like what I'm trying to say is, after these recoveries are made, beyond announcing that you have recovered over $1 billion or $1 trillion, how much have you been able to return back to the government coffers? That's one. And then how much has these monies, or how effectively have they been used? Don't you think the EFCC is also supposed to be monitoring, also giving us account of how much has been returned back to the government coffers, and also investigate how these funds
spent?
are being used?
Of course. Sorry, I was trying to further my research before we come on air, because part of what I saw recently, the Super Eagles, the women team were able to, if I could remember, they were able to win something like that here in Nigeria. And part of the 753 units of houses that were recovered from the former CVN governor, the federal government were able to actually dash one to them.
Yes.
And recently we saw what the president, I think it was Olatunji Disu, the Minister of Education, that said that the president has ordered that the most of the recovered funds from the EFCC should be channeled to NEL Fund.
Yes.
You remember? So these are the kind of things. And I think I want to go back and further my research and also try and understand where are the recovered funds going. Because there is a scenario that we say the hunter became haunted. If we look at most of the former chair of the EFCC, most of them are not like after the person that appointed them into office, the moment the next administration come, you may likely see them behind the bars, prosecuting them, and also calling them and trying to scrutinize them. So that is the until become haunted. And there is a kind of speculation, and it's an allegation. I don't have scientific data to back that, but that is why I say it's an allegation. Like some of the staff of the EFCC are not that too transparent enough to at least open everything, to make everything transparent to the government and the common Nigerians. Because sometimes they may likely go and rent a house and they may not be able to account for exactly what they got there. It's an allegation. As I said, I don't have data to back that, of course. But I so much believe that EFCC are trying, and if not because of the agencies like EFCC, ICPC, Court of Conduct Bureau, and the other government agencies that has the saddle responsibility of fighting corruption, the kind of corruption that is going to happen in this country, it is only God Almighty Allah that will know. If you remember, these are the kind of commission that were able to at least prosecute the like of Dizzani Alison Madueke. Look at how Dizzani Alison Madueke was able to at least capsize some huge amount of money during the time of President Goodluck Jonathan.
Yes. But then we saw how the case ended. It ended, when she went to the UK court. At the end of the day, she got... the verdict was in her favor.
Well, it does not matter. UK court does not translate to Nigerian courts.
Yes, that is
if she's truly honest and if she's truly said that what she did there, I so much believe, let her come back to Nigeria and also face our own judges.
Indeed.
Because some people are thinking that corruption does not exist in the Western world. Sometimes those Western Oyinbo are more corrupt than Nigerians.
Yes.
All while we are in their own corruption, they are doing their own corruption with steez.
So now, when it also comes to the scale of cases and successes that the EFCC has recovered, it makes one to ask this important question, which is it that these agencies, our economic or our anti-corruption agencies now, is it that they are becoming more effective, or corruption is becoming much more increased? I don't know how to frame it now.
Yeah, I understand.
In the fight against corruption, the recoveries that are being made, the amounts that they talked about, 59 trillion naira, that's a whopping amount of money. So does that mean that the EFCC and other anti-corruption agencies have become more effective, or does this showcase that Nigeria has a long way to go in its fight against corruption?
It is two sides of the coin.
Yes.
If you look at the level of corruption in this country, according to the Corruption Perception Index, Nigeria was somewhere around ranks. I forgot the data. I recently saw it. Yes. Nigeria was somewhere around one of the most corrupt states in the world. With sorry and apologies to call my country among the corrupt states. It is based on the data we saw. And the level of corruption among the public servant is always increasing day by day.
Yeah.
Now we are heading to 2027 election. Part of those people that serve under President President Tinubu, if care is not taken, maybe they may likely not come back in the second tenure. Most of them, they may likely be visitors of most of the anti-graft agency. And if you look at the record of successes recorded by the anti-graft agency, for as long as those that are in the power, those saddled with the responsibility of appointing them, will at least allow them and give them motivation, morale, that fight corruption without any political iota of corruption. The anti-graft agency will do everything possible to scrutinize everybody. And now look at it, within 3 years, he was able to at least recover $500 million US.
Yeah.
Because it was, if I remember, it was $500 million that he was able to recover within 3 years. But this is what we had from him. Maybe, I'm not accusing him, maybe if we can be able to be more transparent enough, maybe they may likely recover more than that. We know a lot of people that are generating revenue, especially from the port authority, from the customs. Sometimes they will just say that they have generated huge amount of money, but at the tail end there are a lot of allegations saying that they are not even remitting the exact number of what they were able to generate. So corruption is everywhere in this country, even among us. Nigeria is like, corruption is becoming a pandemic.
Yes.
There's corruption in education sector, there's corruption in the health sector, there's corruption in even the business sector, virtually even among the religious sector.
Yes.
The religious institution, there's corruption.
Indeed.
Because
indeed.
we saw
We
we
quite
recently
see cases like this.
an Islamic a religious scholar campaigning for some sect of political parties, and at the tail of the summit, he was able to, at least they donated a sum of almost 600 million naira to him.
No.
If he is truly the man of God, I believe the man of God would say, no, I don't want this money, but rather my people are currently facing the problem of health crisis. My people are facing the problem of potable drinking water. You should go and channel that 600 million naira to your people. And
A lot of
recently, we even
Nigerians
saw the
appear
governor
to be
from that
more,
state that was able to donate
open
that
now.
money. Some of his people coming out online, calling him and accusing him that he should remember he's going back to his Lord, because there are a lot of people, especially most of the local government, that are currently battling. See where they are giving billions and millions of naira like a chicken change. For example, like me that can afford a pack or bottle of water, 4 to 5. Those people are dashing out millions of naira. Where are they getting this money? No wonder the president is beating himself. He's beating his chest every day that he has injected more funds to the state governors. But we are not seeing the impact.
Yeah, proper utilization of
matters.
these funds.
Yeah.
And I think Nigerians at this point, we are starting to become wiser,
Enough.
because the kinds of conversations we are seeing on social media, they kind of indicates that there is already a mindset shift, and we are going to that point where hopefully we are learning to be more vocal and learning how to better
express ourselves.
Yes, express ourselves
Yeah.
and hold our leaders
Yeah.
accountable. But finally, before we leave this particular issue, I have one more question to ask, which is, now for these recoveries that have been made, what are some of the key areas that you feel or that you would suggest that these funds be channeled to, so that the greater or the larger Nigerian populace is going to enjoy the benefits of what had initially been stolen from them?
Yeah, sorry, can you repeat your question?
I said, now, looking at all the recoveries, the large-scale recoveries that have been made so far, what would be your recommendation in terms of channeling these resources? Where do you think is the right place to channel these resources, so that Nigerians will sit back and still rejoice that although these funds were stolen from them at some point, they have been recovered and they've been utilized in other areas that is to the benefit of the greater
masses.
populace?
Well,
Yes.
thank you so much for that wonderful question. I think if the government will double its effort in channeling those recovered assets in the education sector and also in the health sector, remember our budget is somewhere around more than 10 to 13 trillion. And if those recovered assets and stolen assets and recovered of such huge amount of money can be able to channel them into our own annual budget, we don't need to go to IMF and borrow money. Every day we're experiencing budget deficit. Every day we have to go to IMF to borrow money and say, please, we want to cushion some of our own economic lacunas. We want to cushion some of our own infrastructural decay, infrastructural decadence.
Bless you, bless you.
Thank you. While some people, like 3 to 4 individuals that were public office holders, if we can be able to at least emasculate them and at least bring out whatever they have been accused of stealing here in this country, we can be able to say to fund a lot of projects in this country. I think if they can, especially the education system, let them channel those funds to education system one. Let them also channel them those funds to infrastructure, health. These are the only places that a common man will feel the impact directly. And recently, if they can still bring those funds to channel it into bringing back the subsidy, I think these are one of the major things. And I also have recommendations to EFCC how they can be able to strengthen their own fight against corruption.
Yes.
So the EFCC should try and find a way of target the entire corruption system, because every ministry, department, or agency, if the head of that agency is being accused of perpetuating any corruption act, EFCC should find a way of auditing the entire department, the entire ministry, ranging from the contractors, ranging from the consultants, and even those permanent secretary, and even the head of that agency or the minister of that agency. They should all bring into book. Let them come and at least answer the accusation. And also, EFCC should try and at least follow the money. Any financial transaction that is above 200 million naira instantly, EFCC should find a way of having a massive collaboration. I know that there's a collaboration between the EFCC, Public Bureau of Procurement, ICPC, Court of Conduct Bureau, and banks and even CBN.
Yeah.
They should always find a way of tracking the flow, the inflow and outflow of any transaction that is above 200 million naira a day.
Yeah.
EFCC can be able to do that. We recently saw what EFCC did when they froze the Osun account. They say that they have experienced some inflow and outflow of money. So if they can be able to do that in Osun, why will EFCC not be able to do that within the 36 state and even 774 local governments? This will go a long way in addressing the problem of corruption that we are facing. And also EFCC should make corruption more difficult to the extent that they should try and make corruption more difficult. People should have the means of stigmatizing corruption from the society. Make sure that I made a recommendation. If I'm going to appoint you as my own SA or any public office holder, I'm going to hand over your own appointment letter, and I'm also going to hand over your own sack letter. If you misbehave, I'm going to sack you. And also the society should try and at least push corruption, corrupt people. We saw what happened to the likes of Alain Messia when he stole the funds of Bielsa people. And when he came back, they were jubilating, our son is back, our son is back. Now, the worst part of it, if you go to with due respect to my brothers from the northern part of the country, people will still beat and he will go back to his own community, they will confer him a traditional title.
Yeah, so these are the issues that we always keep addressing. And I would always refer you back to a time I went to an ICPC workshop and they talked about it, that the Nigerian people need to do better. We need to come together to frown at corruption.
Of course.
And not complain because a lot of people complain when they are not benefiting.
Yeah.
Once they are benefiting, everything is well.
Well, let me give you a proverb or assertion like when I'm not on power, nobody is perfect than I.
Yes, so that is it. We need to just have that mindset shift. Thank you so much for the thoughts you shared there. But we need to go on a quick break, and when we come back, the conversation continues. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. This is the newspaper review on S24 Morning Digest, your trusted breakfast program on S24 television. It's been an interesting conversation with my colleague, Abubakar Turaki. Thank you for staying with us.
Thank you so
much. So
now
let's quickly take a look at our next newspaper. And this time we're going to be taking a swipe at or a look at the Punch newspaper. And on the front page, it says, security personnel protest unpaid allowances for Osun poll. The Osun elections have come and gone, but then we're already seeing this aftermath of unpaid salaries. Is this even a good start? Are we off to a good start with this kind of news?
I sometimes don't have interest to speak on this particular angle because all what I believe, based on my understanding of Nigerian politics, they really politicize what happened in Osun states. The August 15 Osun governorship election, when we saw the Nigerian police deploying almost 15,000 security personnel in Osun, and they were able to conduct the election free and fair, and it was credible. We even saw Governor Adeleke, the dancing governor, went to the president and even thanked him.
Yes,
and as a democratic state, I felt very, very disenchanted, and I lost confidence and hope in most of our own politicians. Why will your people vote for you and you are there immediately, even before they hand over your certificate of return, giving your own maximum cooperation and endorsement to the president? So what you are doing, are you thinking that it was the president that gave you that mantle of leadership? No, it wasn't the president. The president also came into power via the instrument of political party, and it was Nigerians that gave them the opportunity to serve them. But whatsoever happened has already happened. And we know recently when they were able to deploy the likes of civil defense, police were also deployed, armed personnel were also deployed, and even some axis of Osun Correctional Center personnel were also deployed there. But what happened there? There is what we call duty allowance. They deployed them there. Some people were actually even mobilized and deployed there instantly without even prior or even proper arrangements to go there and watch and serve as a watchdog to that election that was conducted in Osun State. And almost now 2 weeks, they have to protest over their own unpaid allowance. How much are they collecting? What is the minimum wage in our dear country now? 77,000 naira. And some even states are even yet to implement such amount of money.
Yes.
And look at the economic policies that the government is bringing. How sure are we what they are earning is sustaining them? And they have to protest. And I went through the story. They were able to make, I think they wanted to, I forgot the exact how much they said that they are going to pay them. I forgot actually. But one of the major reasons why they say that they were unable to do that, they were trying to at least verify those people that were able to be there, and those people that were able to go and at least be on the ground, and those people that were able to at least answer the national assignments. But no matter what, this is a national assignment, and I'm expecting those armed personnel or those security personnel, they need to be more patriotic. Because I know there are a lot of people, even if you did not give them any penny, for as long as they will defend the territorial integrity of this country, they will be able to do that. We know the terms of Ahmadu Bello Sardauna, and we know the terms of Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. Some of them even serve as a public office holders. What they are getting, I think what they are getting then as the prime minister or president, I think what I'm getting now is even more than what they are getting. But the difference, the value differs.
Yes, yes. But sometimes this also makes us to wonder that we keep saying our security personnel are corrupt, our security personnel are this, they are that. We always have an opinion. But then when we keep seeing things like this, how do you expect somebody, it takes a level of integrity and discipline, discipline now, for one to still maintain integrity when such things are not happening. Now, you can imagine people were deployed, they were assigned, they did their job. You promise them certain allowances for going out.
It's not even process. They're entitled to that.
It's their entitlement.
Yes.
They go out, they've done their own mandate, they've done their own part. And then for you to do your own part, you are now telling them stories. Do they want to say that the total amount of money that was disbursed during the election, it's supposed to cover so many things? So why is it that anytime these issues come up or anytime these deployments are made, they are always forgetting the essential people?
Because those people are not relevant to them.
Before the elections.
Before the election.
Or after the elections.
We even saw what Davido was even accusing, that a sum of almost 60 billion was distributed from the ruling party. It's an accusation. He accused them. And recently, part of the papers I shared to you yesterday, the executive governors, I think they spend more than 521 billion for their own government houses and on their own traveling. And I read the report yesterday.
Yes.
So look at these people, if those 36 state governors can be able to spend such huge amount of money, then what is the money of a common sergeant or corporal? The money is not even up to a huge amount of money. It's not even up to 500,000. It's somewhere around maybe 50,000, 30,000. Somewhere the highest maybe we'll just have 200,000 naira. Yes. Why are you doing this thing to them? And you're expecting these people to show neutrality. Yes. And you're expecting them to be honest in carrying out their own mandate as the security personnel. I so much believe that a lot of them are regretting, and a lot of them are reserving their comments ahead of 2027. And this is going to compound the 2027 general elections, because they knew that those people that were deployed to Osun on August 15 for that election, they are going to be the same people that are going to be deployed on January 16, 2027 general election and February 6, 2027 governorship election. So they will definitely compromise. And if they compromise, it will be very difficult for us to have a credible, acceptable, and a transparent election. Then courtesy of what? Courtesy of politicians. Politicians seems to be too overwhelmed to the extent that they will be worshipping you in order to vote for them. Once if you vote for them, they will unleash hell for you, and they will not even care to show the kind of remorsefulness or anything. All what they will after continue to enjoy their own executive veto power with their own family and with some clique and composition of their own friends.
Yes.
And it is totally not acceptable. I so much believe if you are a governor that you are being elected under PRP or APC, once if you assume the mantle of leadership, you are a governor of everybody. You don't have to at least subject yourself that you are only going to lead the people from the APC. I saw a devastating video from one of, I think, is it Kuje? Yeah, a local government chairman of Kuje on Monday in a public domain saying that those people that are not going to vote for APC should leave Kuje. Because I wish we have the video. You could have seen a devastating video.
Yeah, I think I heard about that video.
You heard about that. This was the local government chairman that was elected by the members of that area council, and he's expected to show neutrality. But do you know the reason why up to this material moment he is yet to be arrested? Because it's an insightful. Are they thinking that Minister Wike and President Tinubu are using their own personal money in constructing most of the beautiful infrastructures we are seeing in this country? No, these are taxpayers' money. The money I'm paying, the money you are paying, and the money the rest of Nigerians are paying. Some of even taxes that the government is collecting from us, we are yet to understand what those tax is for.
Yes.
We are yet to understand.
Exactly
We are yet to have a kind of like a proper breakdown. Table it down to me as an ignorance in tax and as an ignorant in economics. Table it down. Tell me these are the one of the major reasons why I'm collecting such a amount of tax from you. What if I'm convinced? Fine. If I'm not convinced, then I will continue to lament. But this is the man that they are using taxpayers' money, but he's sending a threat to people that if they are not going to vote for APC again, they should leave Kuji.
Yeah. So
and this man, they are using taxpayers' money to do that. Part of the major reason why you see the government is just don't even cry, don't even care to maybe call him to book, is because he's with the ruling party.
Yes.
Remember, there was a religious scholar that was campaigning for a deceptive ticket. And after all, he even made a statement that is an insightful statement. Did anything happen to him? Rather, the following week, we saw a kind of a token of 600 million naira was given to him as a form of appreciation.
A token indeed.
So politicians, the best way to continue to manipulate and rule the dubious Nigerians, this is a free advert, or this is a free suggestion I'm giving to politicians. Continue to tie your apron to the ruling party, but there will be a time when the ruling party will crumble, because they predicted that PDP is going to rule for 100 years, but God so kind, with the intention of Nigerian, PDP only ruled for 16 years. So
Yeah.
APC will not be in power forever.
Yes, that is it. Power is very transient. So I wanted to refer you back to the statement you were making when we were talking about the state governors and the monies they spend. So yesterday we had even talked about it during our news that 33 state governments spent at least 512.1 billion naira on government houses, government offices, governors' offices, executive administration, travel, and transport in the first half of 2026.
Yeah.
Now, there's a sharp contrast there with the Osun case, where security personnel deployed for the August 15, 2026 Osun State governorship election are protesting delay in receiving their special duty allowances. Now, what is the disparity in payment? We heard that members of the police force, they got a special duty allowance of 120,000 naira. Which you rightly said, that none of it is up to 200,000. Meanwhile, the sister agencies from the NSCDC and other
agencies,
security agencies did not even get anything. And that is why they are protesting. So how or when are we going to transition from this life of self-centeredness and stinginess? I don't even know how to call it, because it's quite appalling that when it comes to things that involve their welfare, I have never seen any time where we had past governors trying to come out to protest over unpaid allowances, whether when they were in service or after service. Instead, once you leave Nigerian public office, you automatically become
richer,
a billionaire. So these are some of the issues that we are not even talking about enough.
If I tell you some of the ex-politicians or some of the ex-public office holders in this country are richer than Nigeria.
Of course.
Because I keep saying, this is my own assertion as a student of politics. For as long as we are going to get good governors, because governors are our major problem in this country. Governors are always in the head of the president, and they are always emasculating the local government. They will go to the federal government, collect, with the intention of bringing it down to the local government. But if they come to the local government, they may likely not give what they collected from the federal government to the local government. They have made themselves as their own semi-goats with small letter G.
Yeah.
And you say that you have never seen an ex-governor protesting because of his own allowance. Most of them, they have made Senate their own permanent retirement home.
Yes.
We know the likes of Ahmed Lawan, who has been in Senate almost since 1999, who has been in the Halo Chamber since 1999. We know the likes of Anju Mogoji. He has been in Senate since 2011. We know a lot of people that have been in Senate. Most of them are former governors.
Yeah.
If I start mentioning those that are currently senators, most of them are former governors. These are the people that are collecting pension and also gratuity as former governors in their state. And these are also the people that they are also collecting salary and basic allowance as serving senators. Haba, are they the only supernatural people in the state? And most of them are not even bringing beautiful policies to the people. Most of them, if you go to the state house, if you go to the Senate, National House of Assembly, you just see them sleeping like this.
Yes, we see those videos.
Those are the people that they are in their own olden age. They're supposed to be at home, resting, advising young people that have the intention of catapulting this country forward.
To the next level.
But these are the people that you will just see them sleeping and they will just stand up. Those that are in support of the motions will say aye. Those that are not in the motions will say nay. The ayes have it. Or at the tail end, if the motion they bring into the Halo Chamber does not favor most of them, they will start exchanging blow.
Yeah.
And these are the people, before they leave office as governors, they have virtually made the State House of Assembly as their own department in the government house. So they will try and increase their own pension. They will try and increase some of their own entitlement. And they have to make sure that the speaker and even members of the House of Assembly will assent to that before they leave office. And they are saying that maybe they have induced the speaker, oh, you are the one who is going to be the next executive governor if I leave. So definitely try and benefit from this thing. Why are you doing this? But God Almighty Allah has never been sleeping. God Almighty Allah is the omniscient and He's seeing them. Do you know that it is only in this country where your basic needs and your basic rights, you have to subject yourself into prayer before you get them. Now look at it. For me, maybe as a common Nigerian, an average villager that came from Gombe, that I want to have an international passport, sometimes I'll just start praying, oh God, please permit me to be among the people that will capture. These are my basic rights.
Yes.
These are all courtesy of felt institution and stronger individual that we have.
And that's the reason why when people travel abroad, a lot of people don't become very religious anymore. Because a lot of things we pray here, we pray for
you will get them on a platter of gold there.
You can imagine somebody praying for electricity. Oh God, before I get home, please let there be electricity.
Can you imagine? Look at the psychological and mental trauma that the politicians have subjected many Nigerians. A population of over 240 million has been subjected to a psychological trauma. And you expected good to come from us? That is why we are having brain drain graduate, quack graduate, and some people that are not even qualified to hold most of the public office. Now, let me give you a single scenario with Ilhan Umar from the United States of America.
Yeah.
She has always been bashing President Trump. And she will move freely. But can you tell me now, any of our own lawmakers can be able to bash President Tinubu constructively? Even if you do it constructively, next we will see what happened. See what happened to my sister, Senator Natasha.
Yes.
She was able to voice what is currently going on. The altercation that happened between Natasha and Godswill Akpabio. What happened to her? Almost 3 months suspension.
It was more than that. I think she was away from the Senate for about 6 months.
So you see, it was 6 months. I stand to be corrected.
There were rules that she was not even entitled to her allowances. And
even within the premises of the Halo Chamber, she was not entitled.
Yes.
But look at it. Our institutions are weak. We have strong individuals. That is why this country, this Nigeria, it is only 4 to 5 people that are ruling them. Ex-people that served during the military era, neo-colonialist people that served prior to the Fourth Republic, and the current Fourth Republic politicians. These are the people that are ruling this country. And it baffles me to understand, nowadays, they are recruiting most of their own children to come and continue emasculating innocent Nigerian. I saw what...
Abubakar, before you continue, let me just pause and then we go on a break. When we come back, the conversation continues. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Before we went on a break, we're talking about the protests by some of the security personnel that were recently deployed for the August 15 Osun governorship election. So quickly, before we move to the next topic, you were talking earlier about 2027 fast approaching, and as it is approaching, what recommendations would you advise that the INEC, the government generally just starts looking at? Because you had rightly mentioned that this is of course going to weaken the morale of people, and this is we have always talked about how the Osun election was and still is a litmus test for Nigerians on how 2027 will look like. So if we're already seeing cases where people are not being allowed to, not getting the allowances they are entitled to, how do you think this is going to affect the 2027 elections?
Of course, it's going to affect, because for as long as those started with the responsibility to give their own allowance will not be able to do that. They will find a way of conniving with those members of the political parties, bad eggs among the political parties, and they will connect with them. These are the people that are being empowered with raffles.
Yes.
They can intimidate voters and give the election in favor of one of the political party. And this is surely weakening the opposition, because the ruling party is using every instrument, because the ruling party is the only political party that is using suffering, hunger, malnutrition, and also insecurity in the 2027 campaign, because we are yet to see most of their own blueprints. If they come back in 2027, what they are going to do it. All what we saw is just a kind of like rejoinder from Atiku Abubakar, Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu. They called Atiku an ignorant of the economy. Recently, I even saw another rejoinder from Bayo Onanuga, sending rejoinder to Atiku. We don't need all this. Please try and at least centralize your focus ahead of the remaining 5 to 6 months that remain in your own tenure.
Yes.
Try and at least continue bringing beautiful policies that will at least continue to give more hope and that will revive the public trust, because a common Nigerian does not have trust with the ruling party or even the opposition party. All what they after they thought they are all birds of the same feather.
Yeah.
So INEC have done its own part. Because INEC always, you will see them, wow, we are trying to deploy beavers, we are trying to do this, we are trying to do that, because they have been doing their own part. Part of the lacuna I told you INEC is facing, INEC does not have any court to prosecute, INEC does not have any police to arrest, INEC does not have any special court to give verdict within 3 months or 6 months. So INEC, their hand is tied. So it is the duty of the government. And who are the government? The government in the affairs of the power are the government. Because we know how the ruling party allegedly have been influencing most of the court's process.
Yeah.
So for as long as they will try and at least remove the interest of the individual interest, and put public interest and national interest, 2027 election will be one of the most credible so far.
All right, thank you. So let's now move to our next topic of discussion. And we are still talking about the 2027 polls, and we're looking at the Punch newspaper still. And it says 2027 polls, INEC unveils governorship assembly candidates Saturday. INEC has already begun the process of publishing candidates' particulars for the 2027 elections, with the commission indicating that governorship and state houses of assembly candidates' particulars are due for publication on August 29. So what's the significance really of INEC even publishing this?
It is very, very significant. It has a significant output and outcome, because if you know that the person that is going to represent you in the next 4 years, that thing will give you a kind of more public trust to continue scrutinizing him, to follow him, and even know who he is. Because there was a time when most people don't even know who they are going to vote. Because ever since when I saw the political parties adopted the direct primaries, whereby delegates, they would start counting simple arithmetic, they will not be able to calculate. I knew that there's going to be a lot of issues. But for now, INEC have their own time on Saturday 29. That is going to be the deadline. First, the deadline was on 22nd of August, but due to some internal squabble among the political parties, INEC were able to give them additional window. So maybe on 29th of August, INEC are going to come up with the comprehensive list of people that they are going to represent you in the secondary election, ranging from the presidential, the the members of the National House of Assembly, the governors, and even the members of the state houses of assembly. And mind you, 28 states are going to conduct their own election in the 2027 general elections, while the remaining states are not going to conduct their own election. The states that are going to be affected, which include Ondo, Osun, Ikiti, Kogi, Anambra, etc., because those people, they are going to have their what we call off-cycle elections.
Yes.
And mind you, the remaining states, most of them in states like Lagos, Kwara, Yobe, Bauchi, etc. These are the states that they are going to have new set of governors, because most of the incumbent governors are in their own final lap. So by doing so, and also according to Electoral Act as amended recently, the political party has the liberty to at least substitute and even change the person that is going to represent them in their own secondary election, for as long as the person feels like, no, he is not capable of representing his people. So these are all windows. That is why I tell you, democracy is the best system of government in some developing states. But to us, we are trying to see the best out of democracy. By doing that, it's going to give most of the people that felt they are aggrieved, and maybe if they have reconciled among themselves, they will be able to at least represent a competent candidate that will represent the political party in the secondary election. Remember, this is the election that is going to come from between the ruling party who want to maintain power at all costs, and also the opposition party who want to grab power at all costs.
No, you've rightly said that, this releasing this list is going to, of course, promote transparency and hopefully let citizens to make better and more informed choices about their candidates. However, given the number of legal disputes we've been seeing across all parties when it comes to selecting their candidates, do you think that publishing this list is going to put a stop to these litigations, or maybe just further add more fuel to the issues on ground?
It will add more fuel, and it's going to stop most of the litigation. For as long as you know that you're not the one who is going to represent your political party in the secondary election, if you're a true politician and you want the benefit and progress of your own political party, I think you will just come and we call, there's what we call mubaya in Hausa. You will come and at least pay your own allegiance to that to that person, and also see the progress and development of your own political party. And also remember, I told you that most of the 2027 election is going to be decided at the courtroom.
Yes. You made that statement.
And if INEC did that on the 12th of September, INEC is going to bring out the comprehensive list. From that, you are going to know your candidate, and we are going to test the strength and weakness of your own candidate. If you made a mistake of presenting a weak candidate, then automatically you are giving an advantage to the other political party. And it's going to add public trust to how people are perceiving INEC, because based on the credibility of the man behind the INEC, people are thinking that he's not that credible and competent enough to do that, which I felt those are own assertion maybe from the opposition, but I so much believe that Ameputin will try everything possible to bring the best out of him. And also furthermore, I also want to give another recommendation to INEC that they will be able to at least strengthen the 2027 general elections, because everybody have hope that the 2027 election is going to be the election that is going to decide the future of Nigerians. So INEC should try and at least avoid any internet glitch, because a lot of times with the modality of adopting BVAS, INEC will just say you that they are experiencing internet glitch. So if they can strengthen that avoidance of internet glitch, I believe Nigerians is going to at least appreciate them. And also in terms of deploying electoral observers, INEC should find a way of at least eschewing any partisan politician from being an election observer, because recently, from what we saw from the recently concluded Ikiti election, we saw the likes of Jared Bernard Tanabet, who was the an APC chairman of Ikiti. We saw him with his own regalia of election observers, and he's going to at least weaken the system of the election from the opposition party. People will think that he's coming here in order to give the election in favor of his own political party. And also part of that, what I'm also advocating is INEC should come up with what we call Operation Show Me Your Result. Among the political candidate, everybody should try and at least show his own result. Make sure that the minimum requirement of holding any public office in this country is SSC.
So now, what about the last-minute substitutions and cancellations that we may be seeing as the deadline approaches?
Well, these are the kind of certainties that are inevitable.
Yes.
And why I told you it's inevitable is the failure of the political party to present a good candidate. Because I told you, I give you 3 scenarios. The ruling party is like a mirror to other political parties. Now, everybody is waiting down to see what the ruling party are going to present to INEC.
Yeah.
Then we will see a kind of like fire service approach from most of the political party in order to bring a competent candidate that will at least be their own solid candidate that will defeat the other people. And also, INEC should find a way of making it constitutionally, even if they can go and do whatever they want to do, like debate among the governorship and even presidential candidate is very, very important. In fact, even among the state houses of assembly and federal house of assembly, they should organize debate. Any person that will not be able to go for a 6-hour debate to face Nigerians and tell them their own party manifesto and tell his own party ideology and tell Nigerians their own party way forward, I think Nigerians should not go and vote for him, because we saw 2023 election when one of the presidential candidates were able to at least maneuver their way. They were unable to at least witness that presidential debates. And we even saw recently that the presidential debate that was organized by the Nigerian Bar Association that held place in Port Harcourt. Some of the presidential candidates were not there. We saw the likes of Sowore was there, Peter Obi was there, Donald Duke was there, Amechi was there, and many more. A lot of people were there. But if a person cannot be able to go for a presidential debate, what do you expect he's going to offer to Nigerians? All what we are seeing from them, they will just come, I come to Kano to dance. Now it is my turn. I will remove subsidy. Is this the conversation we're experiencing today? Go for a 6-hour presidential debate. A forensic and surgical evidence, let me borrow from one of my colleagues, a surgical evidential presidential debate. Present a bar chart. Present your solution to the problem of insecurity that is grappling with Nigeria. Because if you remember before, the problem of insecurity was only in part of the country, not eastern part of the country. But for now, almost over 2 decades, or almost 2 decades, we are battling with the problem of insecurity. And I find it difficult to understand someone that held the position of the Jagaban of Borgu. Now, almost 500 people were kidnapped from Borgu. I think they have to revoke that traditional title.
Issues.
Because if your own son cannot be able to at least protect you, I think he has no any means holding that the Jagaban of Borgu.
Let's come back to the topic of discussion. Now, as the 2027 elections is now already increasingly visible, we don't need to talk about it. Finally, how before we go, I just want you to quickly give an overview on the preparations or preparedness of Nigerians. So far, what have you observed about Nigerians and their readiness for this polls?
You know, I'm a student of realism. Sometimes I don't tell myself lies. If we are to be honest with ourselves, we are going to see a kind of like massive voter apathy ahead of 2027 because people are tired of voting. People are tired of fake promises from Nigerians, and people are tired of voting. People are tired of listening to most of the weak and harsh policies that are coming from most of the politicians. Because what is going to happen in the 2027 election if care is not taken? People will just go back. They will watch Netflix. People will just go back and spend time with their own girlfriends and boyfriends ahead of 2027. And according to Duke, if you fail to participate, if you fail to come out and vote, it's going to be an advantage to the politicians so that they will rig the election on their own behalf. If we are to be honest with ourselves, people are saying, oh, there's what we call next level, positive change, new Nigeria is possible, unifier, renew hope. We are tired of this slogan. Nigerians are tired of this. The long-suffering masses in Nigeria want to see beautiful outputs.
Thank you so much, Abubakar. I have to cut you short now. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your thoughts. Well, that concludes today's edition of the newspaper review on S24 Morning Digest. Thank you so much for staying with us. Coming up next, we are going to be moving to the street to hear directly from Nigerians, to hear their views and opinions on issues that concern them on our Street Talk segment. We also have the sports desk coming your way, creative talk, and so much more on the Morning Digest. We are glad that we've been a part of your morning, but we have to leave right now. Stay tuned because the program continues. It's goodbye from me and enjoy the rest of your morning.
In a country where the minimum wage is just 70,000 naira, but the houses in the capital city are skyrocketing, and apartments range from 1 million to 2 million. The question is, who are the people paying this rent and how are they coping? The conversation on the street today is housing prices in Abuja and the coping mechanism. We hear opinions from the street.
First of all, the reason is because simple economics has it that when the demand for something is very, very much and the supply is not as much as the demand, then of course the prices will go up. You know, in Abuja, for instance, in this place, it's supposed to be a satellite town. The influx of people into this area is so tremendous. And the houses there are not really enough.
As a tenant, it's been a great increase from where I came in initially. When I came in, the flat I took was around 500,000, but as we speak now, it has gone more than 400%. We're looking at about 2 million to 2.5 million.
It's not fair because this year now I'm making 3 times and my landlord is increasing my rent. Last year was 170,000 naira. Recently, this year is 210 now I'm paying now.
Annum I pay 45,000 for 1 room. I understand, but they have increased it to 80 to 150.
For instance, a room in this part of the town, this satellite, a room which we call a studio room that has a kitchen and a convenience, goes for as high as 700, between 700 and 1 million naira. And a 1-bedroom flat, which has a living room and a room with the convenience as well as the kitchen, goes for between 1.5 and 2 million. Then a 2-bedroom flat here, landlords ask for as much as 2.5 to 3 million. And so on and so forth for bigger houses.
In response to the minimum wage and how it aligns with the current rent, it's too exorbitant for a normal people within the minimum bracket to cope with.
It's really not fair, considering what people take, considering the value, the salary, the take-home pay that Nigerians get, and even those who work for private companies who actually earn much more than the minimum wage of 70,000, 75,000 Nigerian naira, cannot afford to pay for these things. So because they really have to make do, you see families that put money together to live in a flat that should ordinarily take 3 people. You see 6 people squeeze into the place.
I think it's a combination of the two. Government does not have enough housing units to accommodate people. So the disparity between the government houses and the private owners too actually has the same problem that necessitated them to increase this stuff. So if the government wants to come in now, they can have their own units and people can make a choice. But currently now we have more private than the one that is government.
Nigeria has a deficit of 21 million houses. So if the federal government can build 21 million houses, then it will affect the price downward. Sometimes some greedy agents, they have a certain percentage that they collect in the event they bring clients or someone who rents the house from the landlord. They take 5%. Now they've increased it to 10% because almost everything over the years has gone up. So they take 10% as against 5% they take before. But yes, it still affects them. It still affects agents. It still affects us because the patronage is low. So if 3 years ago, you could rent out 4 or 5 houses or sell 4 or 5 houses, you get more money than now that in a week, you might just be able to rent 1 house. And secondly, it's difficult again because the lawyers have decided to double, they've left litigation and after doubling into agency because the money is more. So they'll say, I'm the lawyer. The lawyer will ask the tenant to pay a percentage. And when he pays that percentage, he might not have anything again.
At least let them help us cover risk. At least let them help us increase our minimum wages, because when I'm working, how much are they paying me? And expenses are collecting the whole money. Every day may end up holding some people money because you don't meet up for many things.
So what people do is that they move outskirts, they move further down, further inside, perhaps towards the border states, like Nasarawa State, like Ogun State, to live, because you can't live close to town.
Tenants don't have any choice than to get a affordable rent to get. So now we are even extending to Jikwe, which is a neighboring place from here too. But I think that one too now, the price difference is not much. So government has to do a lot to actually help us to see how we can get out of this situation.
Have you ever wondered what happens when your car goes missing and before you even panic, someone tells you exactly where it is? Sounds like something out of a movie, right? Well, not anymore. Welcome to another edition of Creative Pulse, the show where we celebrate bold ideas, brilliant minds, and innovation, turning everyday challenges into extraordinary solutions. I am your host, Khadija Mohammed. And today we are talking about innovation, security, and how technology is reshaping the way we protect what matters most. Joining me today is a young engineer, Aminu Ahmed Bichi, a young innovator who is making waves in the world of vehicle security and the founder of GuardTrack, a company helping individuals and businesses protect their vehicle through smart GPS tracking and fleet management solutions, with even bigger, more in the future. Please help me welcome Aminu Bichi to Creative Pulse. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
So before I begin, so I'll still ask my question. If my car should disappear in this studio like right now, should I panic?
No need, as far as you have a tracker installed in your car.
Oh, okay. You guys heard right. As far as I have a tracker, there's no need for me to panic. So join me to this conversation and hear more about GuardTrack. So my first question goes as usual. The journey, what happened? How you started? What prompted you? Did you just wake up one day and you feel like today I need to do something on stolen cars?
Not really. I wouldn't say I woke up one day feeling motivated and everything. I was introduced to car tracking via my sister's friend. So she had the opportunity to start. She pulled me in because after school it's not easy finding a job. So she introduced me, and so far the journey has been good. It's been immense, nice, and sometimes challenging, which helps us grow.
We are going to reach the challenges, but because of course you need to share that with us. But then I actually like the fact that it was a girl that dragged you into it.
Women empowerment, right?
Yes. So let's come to the innovation part.
Yes.
I think I'll first of all ask for someone hearing about GuardTrack for the first time.
Yes.
So what exactly do you do?
I help people manage their asset, valuable asset, because sometimes you buy a phone, you help it with a pouch, a screen guard. Immediately people buy phones. So why is it that people buy cars and don't think of installing a tracker? It's a sense of security, sense of comfort, peace of mind that you have. Okay, you buy houses, you build fences. So it's that extra security that you do with everything. But people tend to take tracking for granted, thinking, okay, cars will not be stolen. And that's not the case.
That's true.
That's not the case.
Okay, so vehicle tracking has become increasingly important.
Yes.
So why do you think every vehicle owner should consider using a GPS tracking system?
Yeah, as a human, we only splash money on things we value.
That's right.
So, and if you value something, you sweat, work, buy it. I think it's worth adding security to it. Yeah. Some people buy tasers, some people buy paper spray. So just to help protect yourself,
yes,
you do everything to protect what you love. So we love cars, and if you compare the money you use in installing a tracker to how much you use in buying the car, it's roughly maybe 1% or 2%. So what's the delay in installing a tracker? Just that extra sense of security that you need let's emphasize on
It's
the word
important,
need.
yes,
It's very
very
important,
important,
actually.
yeah.
It's very important. You allow drivers to take your children to school. You allow your drivers to use your cars. You use your car sometimes in the middle of the night. So what will happen? There are cases where after cars are stolen, people will ask you, okay, how can I retrieve my car? That's not possible.
That's true, actually. So now let's let's be on the journey of when you started. Of course, you
Yes.
told me someone introduced you to car tracking system.
Yeah.
So the first time they actually approached you with something like that, like what was your reaction? Like, was it something you feel like, okay, yes, I want to give it a try, or was it something so welcoming that you were so excited, to do?
Yes, it was actually very welcoming to me.
Okay.
Because it was after school, I finished my service. No one will tell you after your service, if you don't have anything to do, you be sitting down at home.
That's true.
So she decided to introduce me. I had to go all the way down to Kano. Met my mentor. He was taking me out rough areas, dangerous places, but I still had to go because I wanted to learn something, a skill that I would preserve myself rather than depend on others.
Yeah, so just saying this now, you mentioned something of, of course, everyone knows, let's be honest,
Yes.
job is actually hard,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I think that, like, sometimes a lot of youth decide to, just focus on government jobs.
Yes.
Meanwhile, there are other skills that they can go and learn, and of course, that's like a job on its own.
Yes.
So what you just did now is more or less like when people told you like, oh yeah, there's no job after school, but of course this is also a job that you just found for yourself.
Yeah.
So can you tell us some of the challenges that, because of course already the name of car tracking is already a problem, because of course we know that steal cars, not even cars alone, phones and other
Yes.
things. But now let's come to the challenges. What kind of challenges do you face during your training or during trying to innovate the car tracker itself?
Okay, yeah. During my training, it was actually hard because I'll be honest, I grew up here and I've been living here. So it wasn't easy going to Kano, going to areas where, because we installed on trucks too, trucks that would be carrying sand around and everything. So we had to go to places that were not favorable for me.
Yeah.
But I had to adapt and tell myself, okay, you need this. And after I finished my training and everything, I came here and I wanted to install for a car, but it wasn't easy with all the wires. When I was with my mentor, it was easy for him because he was used to doing it.
Of course.
He's used to doing it, sorry. So I found it difficult to do that. So after that, getting customers was not easy because you have to advertise your company, and I had to do the advertisement myself. I had to do everything myself, register people myself, call people, tell them
This is what I do. So
tell family members this is what I do, and everyone I'm telling you, no, I don't have money now. No, I need to do other things now. So I had to keep persistent, keep going and keep going. To Alhamdulillah, and this is where I found myself.
That's really amazing. So can you tell us like some of the services that you actually do? Probably maybe there's a time tracking. I think there's something about geofencing that you.
Yes.
So
yes,
I think for our viewers, they will want to know more about
geofencing.
They should.
It's more about the word, but geo is just like mapping.
Yes.
Let's say your car is in Asokoro, and your children's school is also in Asokoro, your house is in Asokoro, and you ask your driver to take your children to school and come back. That's what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So once you map out a certain boundary on the app, so whenever the car leaves that boundary, that means your driver left Asokoro.
Yes.
So the app will notify you. So if you want to turn off the car, which is one of the functions of the tracker, if you want to turn off the car using your phone, immediately it will turn the car off. If you want to call your driver, okay, where are you going?
Oh, wait. So you said something about turning off the car. Okay, so let's say I don't have a driver though, but I'm just imagining. So let's say I send my driver to go to the market, and of course, I know I sent him to the market. So eventually, if he tried to divert from my map, I can see where.
Yeah, it will not just the way you receive your WhatsApp notification.
Yeah.
It will notify you. Okay, your car has left this boundary you made for it.
Oh, wow.
So if you want to turn it off or you want to call the driver, where are you?
Yeah.
So it's all your choice. If you want to call the security operatives to arrest your driver.
So it's more or less like not even telling your driver that, of course, I have a I have a tracker, and if I decide to lie, and you get to catch
yes.
That's a good innovation, actually. I will not even lie. So now, if you currently now, of course, the insecurity is everywhere, as far as I'm concerned. In fact, it's not even hidden; it's everywhere. So now let's even come to the aspect of school children.
Yes.
Sometimes I think last month I was seeing some social media post that I think some set of tech people introduce a tracker for students whereby your parents will have access to so I don't know, is there like, is it something you are is it like something you are trying to emulate, or it's something that you are thinking of, or are you only focusing on car in specific?
I would say I am focusing more on car specifically.
Okay.
Because with human security is another department
So
on its own. Yeah,
right.
So there are so many aspects of car security that I would want to add to my own company.
Okay.
Because we are opening a new office, so I want to add all of that to my company.
Can
and
you
not
share with
focus.
us, like what? Or is it a surprise?
I know I can share with you. I can share with you.
Okay.
I have this tint protection where if you install it on your glass, it's not bulletproof. So, so whenever someone smashes your glass, the glass will not shatter. It will break, but it will not shatter. It will stay in place. So it's some form of protection against phone snatchers, with thugs that use machetes and axes. So they will hit the glass, it will break, but it will not shatter. Yes, and camera, front camera, back camera, I would like to install. So whenever someone is using your vehicle, you'll be able to see what they are using it for. And we would like to introduce AI-powered voice command in vehicles, where your car wouldn't start unless you commanded it. So it will
so
be
I'll tell
like
my car to car.
yeah, it will be like a password, like sometimes we see it in movies where you voice recognition.
Yes, exactly. I think I would prefer
so,
that.
yeah, voice recognition.
Yes.
So you have like your name is Khadija.
Yes.
So if you tell the car, you can command it. Okay, whenever I say Khadija, it should start. So if you turn it on, if you leave the car and turn the device on, it wouldn't start unless you say Khadija.
Okay, so now that brings me to my next question. What if now in probably like an emergency and I can't say my name, and of course it's my car, and probably there's someone here to help me. So without me saying, and I can't say my name. So in that situation, what will happen?
There are options of overriding it.
Okay.
But there are things that are beyond your control, because a stranger wouldn't know you have it installed. Else that's not a form of security anymore, because the thief would know then. So that's this thing. So we hide it so that people don't know, but we don't pray such cases occur, because it wouldn't be one vehicle. If an emergency, they should use another vehicle. Yes, but we tell people to maybe sometimes tell your loved ones this is how this thing operates. So in case
of emergency,
cases,
even in call, like you might reach out.
Sometimes we give certain commands on paper and we give it to people. So keep it at home. Should in case something happens, maybe your wife, your child, your brother would know, okay, take this thing out of my drawer, check commands and use it to operate the car.
That's actually cool. I can't wait to start telling my car, I'm Khadija, open the door and stuff.
Not open the door, start.
So my next question goes to the Nigerian police recently revealed that 1,519 stolen vehicles were recovered in 2024 through the Electronic Central Motor Registry. And it's actually showing how technology is transforming vehicle recovery. I think the police, they actually do that. So as the founder of GuardTrack, how do you see private GPS tracking companies complementing the government's efforts in reducing vehicle theft?
Well, in general, technology has been helping policing security, not just in Nigeria, even all over the world. The most secured nation believed to, I think I just saw a news about America signing a deal with Anthropic AI, where it will help them with their national security. So it's also, it's always a collaboration.
Yeah.
We had a case where a car was stolen here in Abuja.
Yes.
And it was stolen in the night, and it was already in Kaduna in the same night.
Really?
Yeah, so we were communicating with the police, and I was the person that saw the vehicle in my room here in Abuja. I saw the vehicle, we contacted the police in Kaduna. By 1 a.m. and the car was there. So that's how the collaboration works. You need to have access to police Because there are thieves come with guns and everything. I cannot go there myself. Or the car owner will not approach them himself.
That's true.
But once you have the information and you're able to stop the vehicle,
Yeah.
you contact the police to go there and tell them, okay, you guys should be careful because it was stolen at gunpoint, it was stolen at so. Yeah, so the police should approach the car first rather than you approaching the car.
That's true.
So we always collaborate with the police. It's very, very important.
That makes sense, actually. That makes sense now. So moving to fleet management, is a major part of your business, right?
Yes.
So how does, technology help companies save money and improve efficiency?
Saving money. The fuel cost in Nigeria, I know everybody
knows that.
They said that. Companies call us in because of their drivers' detours sometimes.
Okay.
And they complain that, okay, I filled my car full tank a week and it's finished. And drivers believe it's company's car. You just have to park and they fill the tank and you go, while the company suffers. So we help them monitor what their drivers do. We teach some of their staff.
Like a training?
Yes, a training.
Okay.
So the staff monitors, okay, you're supposed to go to such so place. We are seeing you. If you detour, we would see. So that keeps the drivers in check, and that helps them manage their funds economically. Maybe results are small, so you wouldn't see them one time. But over a period of 6 months, you see, okay, I've saved like 20% of my fuel cost. So, and that's how business is. You see long term rather than short term distance. So that's how we help them manage their economically and keep their drivers in check too.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. So now let's come to the entrepreneurship and vision behind it now.
Yes.
Looking back, what's one business lesson you wish you had learned earlier? Yes.
I'll be honest, I was not a business person at first.
Okay.
Always the person that likes to sit behind the desk. I just don't like trouble. But due to circumstances, I had to start. So I was inexperienced. I didn't have so much knowledge about business. So I was just had rough edges, fall there, get up there. That was how I was moving. So at first, I didn't know how to manage the business, honestly. All I knew was, okay, if I don't have enough money in my account, I'll go out find customers. I have money, I'll go back home and rest. That was how I was living. So until I sat down and thought about it, okay, this is a lucrative business. Definitely. If you would manage it well, it would be a source of living. And you would help others, provide job. And I train people, I wouldn't say for free, but almost for free. So you can change people's lives. You can change your own life.
That's impact.
And you would live free life. You go to offices whenever you want. You have people managing the office. So it's just becoming a CEO at a young age, determining what you do with your life.
Yes, that's true. What advice would you give to the young Nigerians, with innovation ideas, but limited resources?
People use the word limited resources to limit themselves. That's what I believe. Because every business has a step. You need to start. You don't sit at home and think I have limited resources. If my business needs 1 million, that does not mean that business must give me 1 million. Can go out there, even go to the market and carry load so that I get that my 1 million and start my own business.
That's true.
Just have a goal. But you do not sit at home and think you'll achieve your goal. Goals don't work like that. You have to work it, have a plan, try and implement that plan. Life is not perfect. You might get to 1 million and business doesn't come through.
That's true.
So, but at least you tried. Try your best and leave the rest to God.
Keep trying.
Just keep trying.
So have there been like moments when you feel like, God, I'm tired, like I just want to give up? If there is that moment, what kept you going? What was that thing that kept you moving?
I would say there were moments that I think I have given up self. But Alhamdulillah, it's all God. And thanks to Zainab, who brought me onto this business.
Actually, I'm so proud of Zainab.
Zainab is a good person. But due to the fact that I've already advertised my business using my face, so people now, when these people see me and they see GuardTrack, I used my face. I call myself GuardTrack sometimes. So sometimes I would have given up and I'm at home thinking of what to do next. People will call me, okay, I need a tracker installed on my car. So with that, I was like, okay, yes, you have like something really good going on. So why not just fall back to it? You you have an identity now.
Yes,
it became my identity. Car tracking has become my identity now. So people trust me so much. People install tracker and they wouldn't call you for a year because they believe until something happens. That's when you call you because they believe in your services. So I was like, okay, everything has rough edges and patches. Nothing is perfect.
Yes.
So that I believe that some people don't even know where to start. And you have something going on.
Yes.
Just hold on to it and keep going and keep praying. So I kept praying and I kept moving.
Can you tell us one of the major projects, or let me say one of the major, biggest achievements, GAT track that you've done and you are really proud or is so dear to your heart, if you can share with us?
Let me say, I started going to government installations, where so for government vehicles.
Yeah.
So I never thought I could introduce my company to a government parastatal and I'd get the job because it's not easy with the economy and everything. Everybody is saying you need connections. But sometimes you just have to try.
Yeah.
And it came through and I was surprised. So it's I didn't want to limit myself.
Yeah, right.
I just had to try, and I'm a person that doesn't really hold anything to heart. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it's God.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, it's better it didn't even work because God didn't want it to work. That means if it worked, something bad might have happened.
That's true.
So that's why I keep telling myself. So government, it's not easy getting into the government. I'll be honest, it's not easy.
Yeah.
But
I don't think concerning the government, do you still feel like it needs connection?
Yeah, it's easier with connection.
Okay, it's
Let's
easier
say it's easier with connection.
Let's use the word
But just pray and go. Nobody is God now.
Actually,
So
that's
just,
right. So now, of course, everyone knows we are in the AI generation, and there are some people that personally, I can tell AI. Some people still believe AI is here to stay, while others say no, AI is not here to stay. Why people think that AI is doing their job? So, do you think in any way AI is kind of a threat to GAT track or to what you do?
AI is not a threat. AI becomes a threat only when you don't know how to use it. That's what I believe. I use AI too, but depending on the responsibility you give AI, you don't expect AI to take 90% of your work. One day you lose that work.
That's true.
But if you use AI and then add human touch that AI do not have,
yes,
that's the edge you have. You have to put that in, that human touch. If I have a speech, maybe I give it to AI and direct AI. No, but I have to add a human touch. That's what humans want. That's how you reach humans.
Yes.
So I believe AI people will think AI is a threat because you allow it to be. But if you have that edge where you secured the job now, it's because you have edge over others. That's why you are given the job. So AI is coming to compete. If you use it to your advantage, it will still want you there.
That's true.
That's what I believe. So.
Okay, so if you could solve one major security challenge in Nigeria through, technology, what would it be?
Kidnapping.
Oh, how?
Well, since I'm into tracking, I believe, even though I've been seeing on social media that these thieves can be tracked, but I believe you give them ransom. It's a bag you put the ransom in. It's not like even if you carry hard currency without a bag and you give them, it can still be tracked.
That's true.
Because technology has advanced beyond our thinking. So I believe they can be tracked. Tracking, we can use drones to attack. But my own power, if I had power, I'd stop kidnapping, honestly, because you might live in Abuja, but what of the people living in villages?
Honestly.
They are suffering, no farming, no food. You cannot sleep in peace. It's not good. It's not good, honestly.
Thank you for sharing that with us. So now your final message to, the young people out there, audience watching us. What is that thing that you're going to tell them? Of course they've listened to us, and there's this message that would want you to tell. What is that thing that you need to tell them that they should keep going? They should keep going. What's that one message you want them to reach to them? To do so that, because of course we all believe all the time there's no job in Nigeria, there's no job. But if you ask me honestly, sometimes if you believe there is no job, I always say this, unless if you did not clean your shoe and go out. That's one thing I believe. But a lot of people feel like, oh, if they say there's no job in Nigeria, it means there's no job. Of course there's job. And at the same time, yes, we agree there's no job. But go out there. Another challenge is, again, people face is that, oh, if you go to find a job, they will tell you that, you must have like 5 years experience. Some, in fact, 10 years experience. How old am I? You're telling me 10, no, honestly, 10 years
that's
experience.
true, that's true,
so
that's
those
true,
are
that's
the challenges. So I feel like if young people out there should understand that you don't have to work in a government, parastatal organization to understand that, okay, maybe if the government is giving you a job, that's what, having a job looks like, or that's what I need to do in order to earn a living. There are so many skills out there. There are so many things to do. But what is that one final message you need to tell the audience to,
What I would say is, like you said, clean your shoe and go out.
Yeah.
Don't sit there thinking there is no job. Is Nigeria the only place on earth? There are remote jobs. That's what AI is for. Sometimes I'll do courses on my own with AI. Like ChatGPT now, you can research a course, not necessarily these courses engineering, no. Maybe copywriting, email marketing.
Yeah.
They are all courses you learn sitting in the comfort of your home with AI. And you get jobs abroad while sitting in the comfort of your home. So thinking there is no job while you are not looking for one is an excuse to be a loser, honestly. You sit at home, with the job come.
It will not.
Or you have that fine girl you want to marry, your parents give you when you don't have anything to do.
That's true.
So I'm into tracking now, and I'm learning another course at the moment. So just give yourself that edge. Don't be a lazy human.
Yeah.
You will be a liability to everyone.
That's true.
Not just to your parents. You are a liability to humanity at large. You are a human. You are not an animal. You have a brain. God gave you a brain for a reason.
That's true.
So you have to think. Use it. Think. Yes, some don't have it easy, but if you look around your surrounding or anything, you must find something
That's true.
that will give you an edge over your friend, over your neighbor, over somebody. It is being kind, be kind. It is being a businessman, be a businessman. If you want to clean your gutters every day and they pay you, be that.
Do that.
But don't sit at home thinking, okay, I'm bigger than this, bigger than that. Age will catch up to you and you'll be sitting down there.
That's true.
And
That's
you have the
taking
regret.
initiative, and of course, you don't need to limit yourself in doing some things.
Thank
you so much for sharing that. And so I have this game that I will need to. No, yeah, it's a game, Sha. I call it
Hopefully.
Innovator. Yeah, I call it Innovators
Hopefully,
Toolbox.
hopefully.
So I'm going to give you like 3 random objects. And your challenge is to tell us how you would see them to solve, a security problem.
Okay.
Let's say example. Let me give you example. Let's say flashlight, bicycle, wristwatch, a drone, umbrella, and a smartphone. So now your object. So let me call your object for
Okay,
you.
you said flashlights.
No, these are example. Like
Okay.
a flashlight, a bicycle, a wristwatch, drone, an umbrella, a smartphone. So your own object now is we have a drone. One. We have a bicycle and a whistle. How would you combine? Yes, a whistle.
So
How will you
I have
combine
a
them?
drone,
You have a drone,
bicycle.
a bicycle, and a whistle. So how will you combine them to improve, let's say, community security? Let's use community security.
I'll use the drone first
Okay.
for surveillance.
Okay, one.
Bicycle will be what after the drone detects something not so good.
Yes.
Bicycle will be what you use in getting. So but bicycle is not one. There's multiple bicycles. So yeah, we have multiple security already.
Yeah.
So the whistle is what you call for alert others today that okay something is going on.
Yeah.
So while the drone is doing surveillance, everybody is seated in their unit. So once the drone detects something,
And then
you go there, then you blow to alert others. Okay, something is
It's
going on
happening,
here.
yeah.
To call for attention. To call attention. That I think that's good.
Yeah, that's very good. Thank you so much for that. What a fantastic conversation. Today's discussion reminds us that innovation isn't just about creating new technology. It's about solving real problems and making life a little safer, smarter, and easier for everyone. A big thank you to our guest, Engineer Aminu Bichi, for sharing his inspiring journey, his vision, and the incredible work happening at GATTRAC. And thank you to everyone who joined us on Creative Pulse. If today's conversation inspired you, remember, every great innovation begins with one idea and the courage to bring it to life. I am Khadija Mohammed. Keep creating, keep innovating, and we will see you in the next episode of Creative Pulse. Bye for now.
How safe is a female journalist in today's workspace? Every day, female journalists step out to tell stories that matter. They inform the public, question those in power, and give voice to the voiceless. But many women in journalism simply doing their jobs comes with serious risks. The numbers are alarming. A global study by the UNESCO and International Center for Journalists found that 73% of journalists have experienced online violence because of their work. 1 in 4 receive threats of physical violence, 18% receive threats of sexual violence, and 20% receive abuse they experience online, which later turn to real-life attack. Today, female journalists increasingly targeted by cyberbullying, hate speech, coordinated misinformation campaigns, especially those reporting online politics, corruption, election security, or human rights. Another growing concern is the misuse of artificial intelligence, deepfake videos, manipulated images, and AI-generated content, now being used to spread false information, damage reputation, and undermine the credibility of female journalists faster than ever before. The dangers are not limited to the digital world alone. While covering elections, protests, or conflict, even inside the newsroom, some continue to experience discrimination, sexual harassment, unequal opportunities. These experiences have lasting consequences. According to UNESCO, 30% of female journalists said online abuse led them to self-censor, while 26% reported impact of mental health. When journalists begin to silence themselves out of fear, the public lose access to important stories. So what's the solution? Governments must enforce laws that protect journalists. Media organizations must create safe, inclusive workspaces. Technology companies must act faster against online abuse. Government must enforce laws that protect journalists. Media organizations must create safe workspace. Technology companies must act fast against online abuse, AI-enabled harassment, and the public must continue to defend press freedom. Because protecting female journalists is not about protecting individuals, it's about protecting the truth. When journalists are safe, democracy is stronger. When they are silenced, society is left in the dark.
What we are witnessing is not an isolated medical incident. It is a window into a deeper systemic failure within Nigeria's healthcare system. When medical negligence occurs and accountability too often falls short. Medical negligence happens when a healthcare provider fails to meet accepted standards of care, leading to avoidable harm or death. One of the most serious examples is the alleged retention of surgical instruments after surgery, a failure of the most basic patient safety protocols. Globally, this risk is well documented. Peer-reviewed medical studies shows that retained surgical items occur in about 1 out of every 5,500 to 7,000 surgeries worldwide. Rare, but entirely preventable. The World Health Organization also estimates that 1 in 10 hospitalized patients globally experiences harm, much of it linked to unsafe care. That is why international standards require strict instrument count, surgical safety checklists, and immediate investigation of post-operative complications. When these safeguards fail, the consequences can be devastating by severe pain, infection, internal bleeding, organ damage, sepsis, and sometimes death. In Nigeria, allegations of medical negligence have surfaced repeatedly. What remains consistent is how rarely these cases reach transparent resolution. Medical negligence is not just a moral failure, it is a legal issue. Yet, families often face delays, missing record, and institutional silence. This is not an attack on healthcare workers. Many save lives under extreme conditions. But without transparency, accountability, and reform, negligence repeats itself. Because when medical negligence goes unanswered, It doesn't just fail one patient. It undermines trust in the entire healthcare system. And that failure affects us all.
If you're a Nigerian taxpayer, the rules just changed in a big way. Beginning in January 2026, the new tax laws will hit your wallet differently depending on how much you earn and, crucially, how much rent you pay. Gone are the days of consolidated relief and personal relief. These were automatic tax breaks that every worker used to get. From January 2026, Nigeria will instead offer rent relief. This means that 20% of your annual rent can be deducted from the total amount of tax you are supposed to pay. Here's how it works. So far as the 20% of your annual rent is not more than 500,000 naira, you get a 20% deduction from the total amount of tax you pay based on your rent. This tax break does not, however, apply to homeowners. If your rent is 1.5 million naira yearly, you get 300,000 naira in relief. That's 20% of your rent. But if you're paying 3 million naira rent, you still only get the maximum 500,000 relief, not the full 600,000 you might expect. The first 800,000 naira you earn is now completely tax-free, up from previous levels. This tax overhaul is designed to ease the burden on middle and lower income Nigerians while asking the wealthy to contribute more to national coffers. Whether you're celebrating or calculating how much more you'll pay, one thing is certain. Nigerian taxation just got a major makeover. And understanding these changes could save you thousands or cost you, depending on which side of the income divide you're on.
There is a question that echoes in the minds of millions of Nigerians. When did we get it wrong? When did the giants of Africa begin to shrink in the eyes of the world? When did the country that once inspired liberation across Africa become a nation whose passport is viewed with suspicion? Those brightest minds live in search of greener pasture, and those voices no longer carry the same weight in global affairs. Many believe that there must have been one defining moment, one decision that cost Nigeria its dignity and influence. But history tells a different story. Nigeria did not lose its standing overnight. It happened slowly, one compromise at a time, one missed opportunity after another, one generation failing to complete what the previous one started. At independence in 1960, Nigeria inherited enormous advantages. We had one of Africa's largest population, fertile lands, abundant mineral resources, and a strategic location, an immense intellectual capital. Around the world, expectations were high. Nigeria was expected to become a global economic and political powerhouse. Then came the crack. The first major blow was political instability. Ethnic rivalry soon overshadowed national identity instead of asking what is the best for Nigeria. Too many leaders and followers asked, what is best for my region, my religion, my tribe? The military coups and the civil war left scars that shaped the nation's politics for generations. Trust became fragile, institutions weakened, and power became something to seize rather than a responsibility to serve. Then oil arrived, not as a blessing, but as a distraction. Rather than using oil well to industrialize, diversify the economy, improve education, and build world-class infrastructure, Nigeria became dangerously dependent on crude oil exports. Manufacturing weakened, agriculture declined, innovation slowed. The easy money from oil reduced the urgency to build a productive economy. Corruption flourished. Merit gave way to patronage. Public institutions became weaker. Every naira stolen was not just money lost, it was a hospital never built, a school never completed, a road never repaired, and a dream never realized. Gradually, the consequences became visible. Foreign investors became cautious. Nigerian passport attracted more scrutiny. Brain drain accelerated as doctors, engineers, academics, journalists, entrepreneurs, and skilled professionals sought public opportunities abroad. The international community does not grant influence simply because a nation is large or rich in resources. Influence is earned. It comes from strong institutions, from predictable governance, from economic stability, from respect for the rule of law, from innovation, from trust. Nigeria did not lose its privileges because another country took them away. It surrendered many of them by failing to constantly build these foundations. Yet, this is not the whole story. Nigeria remains one of Africa's most influential nations. Our music dominated global charts. Our films reached audiences across continents. Our entrepreneurs continue to build remarkable businesses. Our diplomats still play important roles in regional peacekeeping. Our people continue to excel wherever they go. The tragedy of Nigeria is not a lack of potential. It is a persistent gap between potential and performance. Perhaps the better question is not, when did Nigeria get it wrong? Perhaps the more important question is, when will Nigeria finally decide to get it right? History does not imprison nations forever. Countries like Singapore, South Korea, Rwanda, and others demonstrate that transformation is possible when leadership becomes visionary. Institutions become stronger than individuals, and citizens embrace accountability as much as they demand it. Nigeria's greatest export has never been in oil. It has always been its people. The brilliance of Nigerians has never been in doubt. The challenge has always been creating a system that allows the brilliance to flourish at home. The future of Nigeria will not be decided by one election, one president, or a single policy. It will be decided by whether we finally replace short-term politics with long-term nation building, whether competence begins to matter more than connections, whether institutions become stronger than personalities, whether citizenship becomes more important than ethnicity, whether public offices become a place of service rather than personal enrichment. Nigeria did not lose its place in the world because destiny abandoned us. We gradually abandoned the principles that make a nation respected. The encouraging truth is this: anything that can be rebuilt through decades of poor choices can also be rebuilt through decades of wise ones. The giant of Africa has not yet died. It has simply been asleep. And history is filled with nations that woke up.
What can be done to revive patriotism among Nigerians? Patriotism flourishes when citizens trust their country and the people who lead it. In Nigeria, reviving patriotism begins with accountable and transparent leadership. When leaders respect the rule of law, act with integrity, and prioritize public interest over personal gain, citizens are more likely to feel the sense of loyalty and commitment to the nation. Civic education is crucial. Nigerians need continuous awareness of their rights and responsibilities as citizens, as well as the importance of active participation in governance and politics, not only during elections, but in everyday civic engagement. An informed citizenry is more likely to care about national development rather than non-informed citizens. Economic inclusion played a significant role as well. Access to job, security, education, and basic social service give people a sense of belonging and hope. When citizens feel economically empowered and protected, national pride grows naturally. Equally important is the promotion of unity over division. Ethnic and religious tension and emphasizing shared national values can help Nigerians see themselves first as citizens of one country rather than members of separate groups. Ultimately, patriotism cannot be forced or demanded. It is earned through justice, equity, accountability, good governance, inclusion, and a genuine belief that the future belongs to all Nigerians.
Welcome back. This is still Morning Digest on S24 television, and it's another exciting edition of Top Trends. You know how we do it, bringing you the biggest conversations, the viral moments, and everything currently getting people talking online. And today we are bringing you plenty of opinions, plenty of hot takes, and a whole lot of interesting perspective. I'm sure you don't want to miss out. I won't be doing this alone. Miriam Dalhatsu is joining me today as we unpack what's making waves and hear different sides of the competition. So Miriam, welcome to our Top Trend.
Thank you very much, Gladys.
How are you doing? You're
I'm
looking
good. Thank you. I'm fine this morning.
So are you ready for me? Because I'm actually ready. I'm ready.
I can't wait.
You're ready to,
I can't wait. I just
So
can't wait.
let's just quickly dive into our first story.
Let's go.
So this is unbelievable video showing a lady saying, "My husband cannot say I should come and pay school fees with him. It's not done. My money is my money, and his money is our money." So what can you say about that?
Okay, from the video, we can see that she's a Muslim, and Islamically, that's how it is. So yes, Islamically, if you check the comment section, you'll see that most Muslims are supporting her. Well, because in Islam, it's the man is the head of the family and he's supposed to cater for the family. It is as little as if she even gets something as minimal as, let's say, a seasoning cube, and like he's supposed to pay her back if she uses her money. So, but then Westernization came, and people are feeling like, okay, feminist, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. But in Islam, what she said is actually correct. Yes, ma'am.
So in today's society, do you think that should actually work? Because we've had a lot of controversy around spreading around where the woman says, "My money is my money, my husband's money, or my boyfriend's money is our money." So does it mean you should not contribute? Because
most women will say, "My money is my money, his money is..." We've all heard it, we're still hearing it, and we'll continue to hear it. But the issue now is the family setting is something huge. Forever is a long time for you to, yes. So forever is a long time for you to like stand on a foothill and just keep on going like that. Sometimes you have to support. Being supportive partnership brings to a better companionship. So yes, for me, because I don't.
You know what's funny? Not all heroes wear capes. Some carry inhalers. Others have emergency contacts on speed dial, while the rest have mastered the art of acting like everything is okay, while secretly checking if they pack their medication before leaving the house. From the outside, they look just like everyone else. They're laughing, working, studying, just living life. But behind the scenes, they are fighting most battles people never see because the battle is invisible. People often don't take it seriously. Everybody has advice. Everyone has something to say. But today, we're separating facts from assumptions. We're talking about asthma, the real experiences, the real challenges, and the real people behind the diagnosis. Hello and welcome to Health 360. I am Martha Opala-Nedu. And joining me today is someone who knows a thing or two about navigating life when breathing isn't always something you can take for granted. He's a student, a friend, a young Nigerian with goals, dreams, responsibilities, and yes, a story that I think lots of people can relate to and need to hear. Please help me welcome Favour Asuquo.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Martha, for the warm, long welcome introduction.
Was it that long?
It was.
See me, I was trying to pace you. I tried to present you.
So like I spent 3 business days here, which is where
please, Favour. You're welcome. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome, my friend.
It's an opportunity.
Favour, before we move to our deep conversation, our deep convo, we're going to do a vibe check, quick vibe check. We call it 360 vibe check. You know, going to tell us who you are, who is Favour.
Okay.
We're going to like get to know you better. Talking stage.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down.
Okay, so Favour, are you ready?
I'm down.
Okay, you're down.
I'm down.
All right. So rice or swallow?
Swallow with afang.
That was very quick.
Afang, yes. Swallow with afang. As long as it's afang, swallow.
All right. So morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Oh.
After 6, my energy dies.
6 a.m. or 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. in the
6
evening.
p.m.
Yeah.
Thank God we are here before 6
Thank
p.m.
God.
Thank God. Introverts, Extroverts or ambiverts?
Ambiverts.
Ambiverts.
Depend on my mood. Depend on how I want to behave. Like today, I decided to be extrovert, so I'm here.
Favor, stop it.
Yeah.
Favor
On a
is
normal day, I
here.
could be an introvert.
Okay, welcome, Favor.
Thank you.
Android or iPhone?
Android is better than iPhone, right?
Android is better than
Obviously.
iPhone?
Yes,
Okay.
when you bring in Samsung, level of Samsung. But personal preference, I'll go for iPhone.
But Android is better now.
It's better, but I want to feel among. I want to chill with the big
It's
boys.
the confession for me.
Yeah.
Okay, Favor. TikTok or Facebook?
On a normal day, none of them. But since it's just between TikTok and Facebook, I'll go with TikTok, obviously.
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 So what's your most used Nigerian survival mode?
Omo.
Words.
Omo. Omo is, I
Omo
use
game.
Omo like,
Omo.
who knows? Omo, I use Omo a lot.
Omo. So what's the one thing you are most serious about? The one thing you are most serious about?
You know, sometimes in the life, I'm serious about everything, right? So I'm serious about my spiritual life, right?
Yeah, your dad is a pastor.
Yes, that's true. So like, I'm serious about my
All these
relationship,
pastors' children, well, you
my
know.
relationship with God. Yes, relationship with God. I'm serious about that. And
But, yeah.
and a lots of I'm serious with my personal life moving forward. You know,
He was a man
growing
now.
and yes, I've
Me
been a
too.
man.
Yeah,
I've
always
been a
been a
man.
man,
Always
actually.
been.
Well,
Yeah.
well done, Favor.
Thank
Keep the manhood going.
You know, I will.
Okay, I'm a piano or Afrobeat?
Afrobeats. I'm angry with South Africa, so I can't get Amapiano.
Okay, soft guy or hard guy?
You know, I'm a soft chill guy. You know,
stop it.
Nothing much. Just little sprinkles.
What's one thing we'll always find in your bag? No matter what happens, it will always be there.
One thing I always find in my bag. Okay, you'd always find a nose mask in my bag because of my mom. You'd always find an ATM card in my bag. You'd always find a pen in my bag.
Okay, what's one thing?
Okay,
one thing.
Okay, one thing. You always find an ATM card in my bag. I always find an ATM card. No,
You know,
emergencies come
what
up.
happens to transfers?
You know, I'm more of an, offline type. You know, anything can happen to your phone these days, and sometimes network would have issues, and your card.
So you
Carry your
card like
along.
100 reliable.
Yes, I carry my card everywhere. I don't think I've never
A Gen Z person will be so surprised to hear this. So.
It's life. It's life.
Okay, I think you've proven yourself. I think we've completed the vibe check.
So let's go
So yeah, I
down to
think
the
you're
business,
360% good. 360 degree good.
360, that's nice. 60 is like 100%, but
360. Let's give it
when you go
99.
round,
Let's give it 99% for.
I don't take that. I take 400%. Why will
We'll leave it to the audience to decide.
No.
Please, people. Okay, fine. Well, here, have your 100%.
Thank
Are you happy?
I'm happy. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. For someone who has never known Favor, for someone who has never known you before, when did asthma first enter your life? When did it begin? And what is it all about? Tell us about the early symptoms, the effects, or treatments.
Okay, so the first time I think I ever had an experience with asthma was October of 2023.
Did you write it down in your...
No, it's easy for him to remember because my birthday month.
Oh.
Yeah, so like, it was that bad.
And it happened, okay,
Yeah,
I
so
take
like,
my own back.
I finished SS3, I just finished senior secondary school. I finished SS3 August, student graduation, and then October I was at home one day, and usually prior to that, I don't really get sick like that. No, I think in our family it's just like that. We don't really to get sick. The only kind of things I basically face is cold, malaria. So that's just it. So this particular month, I just felt sick. I'm obviously thinking like it was maybe cold, malaria, take malaria drug and it to go. Then I remember one day I was really weak, just lying down on the bed with duvet, and I just got up from the...
It comes with cold?
Yes, cold kind of triggers it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just got up from the bed, removed the duvet. My dad was in sitting room. I left my room. I just opened the door, then ran into the corridor. I was like, Papa, I can't breathe, like something like that. So that was like, we now went to the hospital and it's like, okay, this is it, give me some injections, medications, and that was it.
Oh,
that was the first experience.
So tell us about the effect, the symptoms.
Okay, effects and symptoms. Basically, for me, I'm basically the kind of person that I don't need to expose my body to cold. It's like it has always been something like that for me. But I feel like most people have different ways it kind of comes up. Like, for example, red oil palm oil, I don't eat food that the palm oil is fried, or perceive it or eat it. You get. So like any food has to do with palm oil has to be cooked. Cooked, like me cooked like with water. You don't fry it. You understand?
Yes.
Like you cook, right?
Yeah, I cook, Fever.
Of course. Yeah. So like you don't fry it. You just put in water and boil it, and that's it. So like comes that like that, then malaria too triggers it for me too. So it's cold, malaria, red oil, dust, anything burnt, just anything has to do with smoke.
But like that means you cannot even enter the kitchen to cook yourself.
I can, as long as I don't burn the food. As long as it doesn't get burnt.
Oh. So treatments.
Treatment. Obviously inhaler is there, but right from time I've always been against inhaler because I don't like people knowing, I feel like it's just something, okay, keep to myself, right? I was surprised even you, right? So like I don't like people. Everybody who has known has basically maybe seen me, maybe like hosted, it happens at home, so like I don't like carrying inhaler around, so like keep it to myself. But there's this pill, salbutamol, something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, when you see me with pill, it's easier to just write it off than when you see me with inhaler. I remember one time I was getting recovered. I was with an inhaler. So one man walked up to me and was like, yeah, sorry, yeah. Like,
sorry, Ken.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of a thing.
Yes.
I do think I was thoughtful of him, but I don't like that kind of pity, right? Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I can remember when you first told me, you just like you were just so casual. You were just like, oh, I'm like, and I was the one trying to like pity you. You're like, it's fine. Like you just really chill with it.
I don't like, it's just something
you've
I like
accepted
to keep
it and everything, and you're fine.
I've not.
That's
Yes,
crazy.
yes.
Sorry, it's wild.
I am fine. Yeah, I am fine.
All right, that's fine. So, growing up, what was the hardest part of having asthma?
Growing up,
Yeah.
well, basically this is just 2026. So let's just say it's been 3 years since I first had anything with asthma.
Okay, so it's not
I didn't
really
really have it growing up,
Yeah.
But for the past 3 years, how has it been living around? It's been okay. At first, when we went to the hospital, I thought maybe to make my life more harder, that kind of stuff. Now, okay, I have to stop doing this, stop doing like their house chores I don't do at home. I leave to my brother, stuff like after some time. No, I don't sweep because of dust.
Yeah.
I don't mop because of water and then other things. I basically just wash plates, clean my own kind of personal space. I don't really do much house chores. So it hasn't really over the time I've just gotten used to it. Avoid eating food that the palm oil is fried.
Even bathing with cold water.
Exactly, bathing. Sometimes too, as a man, you have to just defy the rules and regulations. So like I wouldn't say I stuck to it, not bathing with cold water.
Okay.
Yeah, but every other thing like me, I've kind of just adjusted to.
So that's fine. So let's talk about your first serious asthma attack or any severe one you can vividly remember.
Okay. 2023 was when I had the first one, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't that severe. I had one severe one. I think it was last year. No, 2024, around September. I was in school.
University.
Bro, yes, university was that day. But Jesus, that was the day. When I see somebody who is moving around freely, I'm like, this person doesn't know what God is doing for him.
Okay, let me not pity.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, this person doesn't know what God is doing for him. I woke up around 2 o'clock. One of my roommates, Daniel. Yeah, in the midnight. One of my roommates, Daniel, I think he just came back from the hostel. I don't know where. I think he went to read or something. Yeah, I've been in the hostel because I've not really been feeling fine. So around 2 o'clock, I just jacked off from the bed and it started. Now this is 2 o'clock in the night. Where am I supposed to go to? How am I supposed to like?
Help.
Exactly. My inhalers had finished.
Whoa.
I had bought 2 packs already. They had finished. Bro, it was really, really bad that day. I had to stay awake from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock, gasping for breath.
Fever.
Bro, it wasn't funny actually. That 2 o'clock one. When I got to around 6 or so, my dad came to around 6. They called my dad. My dad came to pick me. They came to around 6, 7, 8. When I got home, usually I take medications, those drugs and the pill, and it's at the time I recover. And, yeah. So this particular day, I had to be hospitalized. Slept in. That was the first time in my whole life I was sleeping in an hospital bed. I was, on drip, and that was like, so severe, really severe. That day it was like, gosh, there's this saying that says like you don't know what to thank God for until you've lost it. Something like that. Not to phrase it well. That was like the most severe one. Then there was another one too. Was in the hostel too. Two of them were in the hostel. That one I was with another of my roommates, Ademi and the rest. And the thing just came down that same night, to middle of the night. But thank God for life, thank God for everything.
What happened? Like, how did they finish? Like, would you say? I mean, can't you always have an extra inhaler somewhere? Like,
yeah. I used to have an extra inhaler, right? But inhaler too at the same time too. It's not so like it's not cheap too. You get so like always having it extra all the time can get too expensive.
But there's no price tag on your health.
There's no price tag on your health. True. And like I said earlier, I'd always been this kind of person who didn't want to identify with inhaler.
Okay.
Because two things now. I didn't want people noticing that, okay, this guy has so and so. Second thing was I didn't want to get used to it. There are people like, they have this kind of sickness and they just get used to inhaler. They can't do without inhaler. So I didn't want mine to not get to that stage. Yeah. Okay. So like, I was just trying to, as of now, I'm fine. It's been a while since even I had an asthma attack.
Do you feel embarrassed when it happens?
I don't feel embarrassed. I just want to survive. That's the only thing that comes to my head. It's not embarrassment, bro. Just survive. How do I come out of this and now having flashbacks of when I used to be alright? Be like, God.
So what about relationships? How's it like dealing with friends, family?
Yeah, it's been okay. It's been okay. Like I said earlier, not really everybody knows about, okay, this is what this guy is going through and stuff, but like close friends and family, basically my mom, my dad, my younger brother, I think these are the only family members that really knows. Aside from that, I don't think I have aunts or uncles that knows about it.
Have it affected your relationships? If
No.
yes, tell us.
No, it hasn't affected my relationship with anybody. No, it hasn't. I don't think there's no experience I can recall where I had an issue with anybody due to this. It hasn't.
I would have asked this, but like this, what habits have you gotten used to help manage your situation? But you mentioned pills, you mentioned inhalers.
Yeah, but I don't like. Yes, first things first. There's always before it gets to where you start seeing the symptoms. For example, if you are bathing cold water every single day, at a certain point, you would certainly feel cold, right?
Yeah.
When you are just kind of more of habits, just reduce, like I mentioned. Reduce
not
dust.
Frying with oil.
Frying with palm oil.
Palm oil.
Palm oil. Dust, smoke, cold water. That's just it. As long as you avoid these things, you don't have any issue.
Okay. So what would you say to someone who was diagnosed today and feels scared about the future?
Well, first things first, I'll say hold God. Because I don't believe there's anybody who's an atheist, and you be in this kind of situation, you don't believe in God. You definitely pray to something. It mustn't be God. You will find something to pray to.
Yes.
There was this Bible scripture I used to have every single time it comes up. I used to have a Bible around me in school and hostel. Psalm 86. I feel like in a way, it may sound like I'm just talking and stuff, but in a way that there was that night that was severe, that it happened around 2 a.m. I read that Bible I don't know how many times I read that particular scripture. I was just reading it over and over and over. And at some point, I was just noticing it was still hard, to breathe, but it was a bit more, okay, I can stay. Because I've heard of people who stayed that long and they've passed on. Because it's not easy, 2 o'clock,
were you
3,
awake
4,
throughout
5.
the night?
Yeah, I can't sleep. You can't sleep with that and stuff. So it's just particular scriptures, first things first, I would say, hold God, something like that, hold God, because I believe that, I definitely believe in God. I believe God heals, you get. I believe God can perform supernatural. Yeah, so I feel like if not for some sort of a supernatural means, maybe that night it happened around 2 o'clock, God forbid, I won't have made it through the day or something like that. Yeah, so it was just hold God, constantly visit the doctor, check up, and you never can tell.
Yeah.
And then just avoid whatever, like I said, smoke, dust,
Palm
red
oil.
Yeah.
I've learned something.
Yeah, just those.
That's
it.
beautiful flavor.
That's my
beautiful.
advice.
So looking back now, would you say Asma has changed you as a person?
Yeah, it did. I used to be very athletic. I love sports. I played basketball throughout my senior secondary school.
Wow.
Yes, I loved basketball, football, and running.
So you're one of those people that if Milo come to this school, you will go.
No, I don't have to be Milo. Don't be you. Milo is aura. You should use my aura. Oh, come on, video here, video. Don't do Milo. But like, generally, I also loved doing it. Even in our school, when in 100 level, when I was in 100 level university, I always used to like challenge like course mates, like I've not seen anybody that can pass me. You come and run me now, come and run me and stop. But at some points too, I had to like stop. Because another thing I didn't mention too, you have to reduce physical, activities. Yes. So I used to be very sport-like, athletic, and so I kind of had to stop.
Reduce, not stop.
Nah, I had to just stop. Stop. Maybe now if I were to play sport, look for more calm sports to play, like tennis. I don't really like those kind of sports. I like sports that engages me physically, like basketball. Like I broke my hand this year. Hasn't even gone.
Boys
hasn't
and
healed.
Nah.
Yeah, because of basketball, I think I kind of like seeing this wound because it reminds me of my
favor. Scars are beautiful. Have you heard
sometimes, that? Sometimes, no, I've not. But sometimes, no, I'm just thinking about it.
Okay, that's nice. If Asma could hear you right now, what would you say to it?
God punish you.
Actually,
yes,
yes,
life.
Yes. I love that. Okay, so we've crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. Now we're going to move to our Bust. Okay, before Bust and Trust segment, do you know about Bust and Trust segment?
Nope.
Good. From your experience, what is one thing you wish more people understand about asthma?
One thing I wish people understand about asthma is that, bro, life is not really as fast or as long as you think it is. At any single moment, anybody can go.
Oh.
You get with like. So one thing I've got to understand, I feel like asthma has made me kind of more grateful. You know, like now I'm sitting down breathing well. Like when I think of experiences of asthma, that's severe when I was hospitalized and stuff, I'm like, wow, thank God. Because at that point when that attack comes by, it's like what you just want to do is just any means you can to breathe. You just want to breathe. At that point you now start breathing and be like, so this is how important breathing is. Yeah, that kind of a thing. So like I feel like asthma kind of just taught me more of like be grateful. Life is not that long like you think. You know, at any point in time, bro, anything can happen. Anybody can go and.
If you could change one thing about how schools, workplaces, or public places support people living with asthma, what would it be?
I say basically dust. For example, I had a lot of issues.
Basically what?
Dust.
Dust.
Yeah, I had a lot of issues in the hostel. Because in the hostel, right, you know, there's this thing where they tell you, okay, after a guy, go and sweep your side and stuff. And none of them understand. I mean, I don't start explaining to everybody that, bro, I get this, or this, that. Or palm oil, for example, hostel guys, or basically hostel
palm
people.
Oil is students,
exactly,
students go
it's
to.
a very common something there. So it's not something I can stop. You get, so like, you know, if, like, kitchen, there'll be a kitchen, you go there and cook, but kitchen has its own issues. So like they'll cook in the room and the palm oil and the dust. So like if I have advise schools or something like that, I would say okay, like they should like maybe have some sort of maybe how would I would say okay, it should be a kitchen first of all. A good well-maintained kitchen. Because I remember one time one guy from school, senior man in the Abuja University, is a potter there.
Okay.
This man came to meet us cooking. I was like, we should go and cook in the kitchen. That is not ready to cook. We now asked the man that, sir, it was you that have food to cook. Will you go there and cook in that kitchen? Exactly. So like, if the kitchen, there's kitchen, but it's not maintained.
Yes.
And food is what you put inside your body.
Yes.
You cannot go and cook where rats or human beings go and put on top of the kitchen table. It's just gossip. So like, a well-good maintained kitchen will be helpful and kind of say, okay, maybe cleaners, like cleaners, because at the same time too, having enough workforce enough work for. Because of course, they can't be like 10 cleaners clean the whole hostel and expect them to come and clean every single room inside the hostel. That's it.
Okay. So, if you had 30 seconds to teach Nigerians how to help someone having an asthma attack, what would you say?
30 seconds to teach Nigerians how to help. First,
What's the first thing to do when someone is having an asthma attack, basically?
First thing when you have an asthma attack, right? This is the first thing first. My mom always tells me this. Just ask God for mercy. Because you know why I say ask God for mercy? Like I said earlier, I do believe in all things in spiritual stuff, but I believe in heaven and hell. Like I said earlier again, life is not promised, right? At any point in time, anybody can go. So the first thing that should be in your mind is confess your sins. You get? Because you never can tell. No, exactly. You never can tell if you make it the next hour.
Yeah.
You get? So like at least let it be that okay, even if you pass on, God forbid, even if the person passes on, you make your heaven. Whatever religion whatever religion you are operating or you are using, exactly. You make your heaven and just confess your sins. Like that's the first thing. Whenever it happens, first ask God for mercy before you even think of anything physical to do.
Okay.
Then
who's asking for mercy now? The victim or the people that want to help the victim?
No, the victim. Yeah, because like I said, but I don't believe this. No matter how much you don't believe in God, at that point in time you find something supernatural to hold on to pray to. At that time, that supernatural being you're holding on to, you're praying to, ask that supernatural being for mercy. You get? Just confess your sins so that anything that happens, you know that your God has taken you and stuff.
Okay, so what's the actual thing now?
Now the actual thing now is, obviously get medical advice. Always have some sort of medical a medical professional ground or something like that. Just something like or just find the nearest hospital, the nearest place you go to, and so you can treat yourself.
If there's not available?
If there's not available, okay. So there's this thing I used to do whenever I used to have this stuff. It kind of helped. This was more of physical now. Our lungs, as I'm sitting down like this, my lungs is not relaxed, right? At that point in time, you first of all need your lungs to be relaxed.
Okay.
So you have to sit. You don't sit anyhow. Like you sit in a more of say something like this, Your lungs is better relaxed like this than when you are sitting like this.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. Position your lungs well. It will help you control your breathing. Because when you can't control your breathing, it's when you're going towards the side of the light, and you don't want to go to the light. All right. You still have years to live. You don't want to go to the light yet. So you control your breathing, just maintain yourself. At least controlling your breathing can give you another extra hour or two to think about what to do next.
Okay. I love the whole demonstration thing.
Yeah.
So last but not the least, from your experience, what is your own contribution to society?
I'm a contribution to society. I'm a contribution to society.
I love that.
So what would me
energy.
as a contributor to society, what would I contribute? What would I contribute to society? Okay, let's think about it. What would I feel like using fried palm oil to cook, it's not really necessary. You get? I used to think I would enjoy food, because prior to 2023, October 2023, when it started, I liked anything soup, especially soup and red oil rice. I like them very oily, very oily, heated, fried. So I used to think that I won't enjoy food after, but after I got used to it, it's not really that difference in taste. Exactly, just
you have a vendetta against palm oil now,
not really.
Palm oil.
Not really. Palm oil is...
So I try to say that contributor to society is to eliminate palm oil.
Nope, I'm not saying no, palm oil is
good. Oil.
I'm from Akwa Ibom. Palm oil is what we used to survive. Part of the things. Palm oil is good, but okay. Like I said, I'm a contribution to society myself. So what else can I contribute aside from me? That's not the question, right? Aside from me,
that was how you phrased the question. But let's just have it.
Aside from me, what else can I contribute to society? My ideas.
Okay.
Yes. Contribute.
Welcome back. This is still Top Trends on S24 Morning. Welcome back. This is still Top Trends on S24 Morning Digest. And we're currently talking about a trending video of a woman saying her money is her money and her husband's money is our money. So, Miriam, welcome.
My money is my money, yo.
So,
My money, our money. This is the mentality. We've had it. It's there. For every woman you meet, her husband's money is their money. But then some people want to be a little bit stingy with their money.
Yeah.
It's okay, oh, please. It's okay for me, oh, please. Because I don't know. I think growing up, I had this feminist mentality.
Yeah.
What a man can do.
a woman can do better.
But now,
no, you don't want to do better.
What a man can do, please carry on.
So do you think this particular thing is going on in several homes currently,
Yes.
this society?
Yes, it is.
And do you think it affects the home?
It affects the home. Depends. Because most men actually don't want their wives to do anything, to contribute anything. Yes, I've seen it firsthand knowledge. I've witnessed it. There are most men that don't want their wives to contribute. Like, just let me take care of everything. Just take care of yourself with your money and everything. And it happens. There are happy homes out there. But then for most homes too, women want like, okay, let me like make a mark. Let me contribute. So it's not be like, what do you bring to the table? And you're finding the table. So at least most women want to contribute. But in Islam, according to what she said, it's correct. But as humans, you should be a little bit considerate, help when needed. If your husband is delaying in paying school fees, is there an issue when if you pay?
Well, that's what she said, because I watched that video and she was like, her husband cannot ask her to pay their children's school fees. And also Islam encourages the fact that you should actually marry from, if possible, the same status. Because you coming from a rich, you cannot go and marry, you're a poor person, you cannot go and marry someone from a rich home. Probably she has maids and everybody, servants working for her, and you're coming telling her she should go and wash clothes for you, she should come and do stuff, do house chores. It won't be possible. So how can you like relate it to this current society?
Please, I feel if you're getting married, first and foremost, marry someone that loves you and you love the person too, because it clears a whole lot of things for you and it gives way for a better life. In the sense that, okay, in most homes, their wives don't actually wash clothes. It's not a big deal. But in other homes, it's actually a big deal if the wife doesn't wash. So this all differs. Our ideology differs, and the way you run your home to also differ. So I can't really give you a straight answer to that, because first and foremost, I'm not married. Secondly, I don't know what to say again, but then as a man, you should just make everything conducive for your family. As a woman, you should do as much as possible.
And also, okay, we're saying something.
Go ahead.
Okay, so there was something that actually caught my attention, because she didn't mention the fact that she's not contributing.
Thank you.
Like, but we Nigerians, we just have a way of just spiking the whole conversation. She actually said her husband can't say, pay the children's school fees. But she didn't say, I can't contribute to my home. Probably her husband earns, she earns, and maybe monthly or something, she can bring her own this thing. Maybe voluntarily, but she didn't specify that her husband says, come and pay the children's school fees and I will just pay it. So probably she does that.
If you believe anything in social media,
that's actually the sad truth, because you don't want to live your life depending on whatever you get from social media, because you are going to be deceived, sweetheart. You are going to you are going to be deceived.
You see a submissive wife at home coming to tell you on social media that she's not submissive. It just.
But what are they gaining?
Likes, attraction, views, people, engagement. A long run, they get paid.
And many people were like, they're pitying her followers, people that are actually following what she's saying, because anybody can come online and say anything just to get, according to what he said, just to get views, just to get the attention and everything. But in their homes, one even mentioned they might be beating herself.
And she'll still.
That is it. One might like they might be beating herself, who knows? But
so you shouldn't just take inspiration from everybody in social media. You should do what works for you, and you should do you. Just be you. Marriage is forever, guys. Forever is a very long time.
Honestly speaking,
flopping anyhow.
Also, do what I agree with you. Do what works for you, because what works for Mr. A can't work for Mr. B. And if you are in a home that you know that okay, I earn and my husband do earn too. Two of you can collectively come together, discuss how much we put into the feeding, how much we put into the clothing, the children's fees, items in the house, how much should we contribute for this? You guys should just come together and talk about it, and your home is peaceful than for you buying whatever you're hearing on social media. I honestly think that's not even like a good thing. So we'll be reading some of the comments. That's like one of the interesting part of today's top trends. We'll be reading some of the comment section right under that video. So let's just get into the first comment of the day. So this says, yes, in Islamic jurisprudence, a wife's wealth generally remains her own, and the husband is primarily responsible for the financial maintenance, including necessities according to his means. However, saying my money is only my money, while his money is for all of us without context can be misleading. Islam also strongly encourages love, cooperation, kindness, and mutual support between spouses. Many Muslim couples voluntarily share expenses and make financial decisions together.
I think this particular comment says it all. Yeah, summarize everything she was trying to say.
So the second one says she's a Muslim and majority of Muslim women don't work. They stay at home, housewife, that's according to their religion, and more than 80% of their men do just what she's saying, but I pity her followers.
For most Muslim homes, you're not restricted to not working, so I'd like to correct that. You can actually work.
Say most women don't work, so they're stay-at-home wife.
I won't generalize this because we have, for northerners, most to do work, they have businesses they are handling. So I would rather say that comment is a little bit not because I've seen a lot of Muslim women who are educated.
Yes, honestly.
And even if they don't do the 9 to 5, they have a healthy running business.
Like, take a look at you. So let's move into the third comment. This one says, marriage shouldn't be a competition over whose money belongs to whom. A woman has rights over her wealth and a husband has responsibilities towards his family. But beyond the rights and obligations, marriage should also have generosity, sacrifice, and mutual understanding. Religion should never be used to encourage selfishness. Honestly, I agree to this.
I love that the fact that people in this comment section are making sense.
I love this.
First comment section I've seen in a long
Really?
time that they're actually making sense.
Wow.
Because most comment section will like
Yes.
trash the woman, but these people are like trying to explain
That, okay, this is, I understand your own, but this shouldn't be, yes.
Yes, I love it.
Okay.
Interesting comment.
So let us get to the final comment. And this one said, wait, is feminism allowed in Islam? Is feminism allowed in Islam? Answer that.
Modern feminism, no. Feminism is.
But I have a friend. She's a feminist and
I
she's
have a
not.
lot of friends that are feminist. So feminism, a man is supposed to be superior.
Wow. So this one says men in Nigeria must be careful in choosing who they marry or even date. Wow, wow. Majority of these women are psychologically damaged and do not understand what relationship is, and neither do they know their role in a relationship. Wow, Nigerians in they talk.
Because I've seen young ladies. Let's
It goes
say,
for both ways. though.
Yes, I've seen. Okay, but first and foremost, I've seen ladies who just have the mentality that if I'm married to a man, it's him that'll do everything.
Yes.
So it's not healthy. As I mentioned earlier, forever is a long time for you to be doing
All
nonsense.
this,
Trial and error. It's marriage. You learn from certain things. But if you're earning and your husband is earning, at least bare minimum, do something.
Do
in the
something.
household.
You respect.
Don't expect
You
the
actually,
man to.
yeah, you actually respect him.
And I've seen households where the wives that are helping, they have like more values in their husband's eyes. Can you relate?
Yeah. Soon, guys. So the last one says, I will say this, don't follow everything you see on social media. Oh, exactly what I was saying earlier. This woman you see here is paying and taking care of her kids, so she could even be beaten by her husband.
Okay, now.
Well,
No,
we don't know anything about that. It's good for her and her alone. So one word for that woman.
When she's passing the message, she should be direct about it.
So you mean direct? She should go directly. Direct. So what of the women earning more than the husband? Do you think them too, like you can say this for them, like the husband contributing to?
Well, we've seen situations where the women do, like women who earn higher than their husband.
Yes.
They treat the women, my gender.
True.
They treat the man less of a man
actually
because they
agree.
feel like I'm shadowing everything. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So what do you bring to the table? So for those women, I don't know what to tell them. They should just do what works for them and life karma.
Honestly, I would advise do what works for you. If you know this is going to work in your marriage or your dating life, just do it.
Be happy. Happiness is everything.
And make sure you and your spouse or your partner have this relationship that you guys can communicate, and whatever you say, they're understanding you. Be with someone that understands you, not just listening.
Thank you.
So let's just quickly go into our second story for the day.
Yes.
So this says, if a man thinks he can just ask me to be his girlfriend or fiancé in the bedroom with a bunch of flowers, red lights, balloons, and some money or material gifts, I would absolutely say no and walk away. Let's breathe.
I wanted to say God when. Okay, for me, personal experience.
Yes. Oh, personal experience.
No, please, let me land.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
I want to say God when. If I see most of these videos, I say, oh my God, God when. But when she brought up this issue, I was like, okay,
Yes.
she has a point. in it.
Me too, I saw that.
Because what are you trying to show people? What are you trying to show the world? You are renting an apartment, a hotel room, it's all decorated with balloons, and you're asking the girl happy birthday, for example, and everything, or will you be my girlfriend? And there are lots of gifts. Everybody have their own way of showing love, appreciation. If that is what the man wants, okay. Well, after that, what happens? What next? That's what she's trying to say, because it feels as if the man is trying to put
Yes.
a price tag to her body. That's what she's trying to say, yeah? If I get the video right. So yeah, she has a valid point too, because why would you decorate all of those things? Me, I'm a religious person. Sorry. Why would you
Okay.
decorate? Because if it's me, I'll walk out. For me, I'll walk out. But then I'll carry the gift with me when I'm going.
But what we should understand is that
Yes.
there are several intentions behind an action. We should also get that. We should clarify that too. Probably the person's intention might be genuine or pure, but still, that is what boils to the fact that you and your partner, or before you get into a relationship, there's this so-called talking stage. You and that person supposed to have a one-on-one conversation on what you like and what you don't like, and probably you might have chipped in this thing to that person.
Yes.
But don't worry, we'll get back to the story. Let's just go. All right, we're just getting started, and the conversation is already heating up. Quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Hawa Shakir Owodini, and shout out to S24 for this interview. It was so smooth and so clean. Thank you so much.
Welcome back. You're still watching Top Trends. And if you're just joining us, it's never too late. You're right on time. Let's keep the conversation going. So, Miriam, where were we?
We were talking about why you decorate your room with
Yes, with flowers.
Okay, most ladies, 80% of ladies find that attractive.
Honestly.
So if she's coming to say it's not attractive, it's from her own viewpoint, and the internet doesn't care.
That word just, just threw me off balance. But the thing is that we should actually understand that. I was actually saying before we went on the break.
Sure.
You and your partner, whatever you guys call yourself, you should have like a one-on-one conversation. How should we do this? What are the things you like? What are the things I like? Let's talk about it. Because you cannot just tell me you threw that party or you threw that surprise for her and it turns out that she does not like it. And it falls back to the starting point. Because you should actually have a knowledge of what she likes, or what he likes rather.
Well, if you watch the video, coming from the point she's coming from, she's actually trying to, from what I understood, she's actually trying to say that doing something like that in a hotel setting is kind of like throwing shades on your character as a person.
Yes.
So if I can do that like in an outdoor setting, it will be okay for her. Do you understand?
Yes.
So from what she's complaining is, okay, it has to be a room. Why must it be a room? Like that's what she's
a room setting.
A room setting. So even if it's outside, it's okay. It's definitely okay if it's outside setting. But then we are coming to understand that in this 21st century and the way people are taking relationships are way above what our
Yes.
millenniums, our parents did. This is something normal to some certain people because you see some ladies they are not married yet, but they stay with their boyfriends, their fiancé they stay in the same roof with them. You go over for a weekend. These are the factual things that people don't actually talk about, but we are talking about it right now. So if you can comfortably go to a man's house, for example, to spend the weekend, how is it an issue if that same man is decorating a room for you for either your birthday or an engagement? Make that make sense.
Guys, it boils down to social media. Everybody wants attention.
Everybody is trying to form saints on the media. It's not like that. Let's be factual about it. You've been doing this all for just one day that he's trying to make you feel special. You're raising up banter about it. You're disturbing the social media.
So what are the innocent ones? No, there's some good eggs.
Thank you. I'm now bringing it back to when you said that every man should know the person he's dating. So if a person, like for example, if a man is dating a saint, you know that your woman is saint, be it Muslim or Christian, she's a saint, you know how to tackle that situation. You know how to approach her. But if you're dating someone that is not, then you also know how to do that. So if, for example, a man is dating a very saint religious woman, for example, he definitely knows that if I should do this for her, it's going to be quite offensive. Let's try the outdoor date, for example. I've seen Will You Be My Girlfriend engagement thing on a beach.
Yeah.
We've all seen those interesting, a date on the beach, on the water, on yacht. All of these things, they are all ways of showing attention. So if a man wants to really show you attention, let him. There are no much men that do that these days.
Honestly. But the intentionality matters.
Yes, it is. And then the intentions behind everything too. So,
I personally, I would say that I'm not in support of the whole, like what I like, I'm not in support of the whole sign out thing where I'm signing out and you are bringing flowers and saying, will you be this, will you be that? I was like, what is this? I don't like it, honestly. Life's for my own. And the whole bedroom stuff, I honestly get her own point of view because she mentioned that it might be that he wants your body after.
Thank you.
And mostly after this kind of proposal, they might likely stay back together and probably something might happen. We don't know. It's over to them. But still, she's actually trying to point out that most ladies are happy with this. Most ladies, they love this. And it feels like the men are using us. Because what do you mean? Will you be my girlfriend? And the next thing, you are staying back and you guys are being intimate and everything. So go out of your way to prove that, oh, this girl is not just that. She's not just this girl.
Gladys,
she's that girl.
Gladys.
Yes,
I just mentioned this. Most of these girls stay with their...
Yeah.
So why is it an issue when you are staying with... So
Honestly.
it's just like we are staying in the same place, but let's change settings for a change. So, and then most of this thing is it's not just about the room decoration and everything. You see there are lots of expensive gifts. You see a money bouquet of worth millions. You see bags, you see hair, you see everything. These are what she wants. He's clearing her wish list. And you clear his wish list.
Somebody even said Nigerian girls, they deny gifts.
Have you ever gifted a Nigerian girl something and she said no?
Yes, I've seen.
You've seen?
I've seen.
Wow.
And actually, it's nice because you can't, some people, like, they take that as an advantage. Imagine a man I saw a video currently. Cheated on her, and during her sign out, brought a gift. I'm saying sorry for cheating on you. Who does that? No, he gave that. I think it was 5 million naira and other gifts, and the girl totally rejected it, and it sparked the whole conversation.
Just know
on
your
social
worth.
media.
Know your worth. Know what you
And I'm
bring to
sure
the
there are
table.
women out there that do reject gifts.
They do. They do.
So
And then for those that don't, please
know your words, queens.
stop dragging us in the mud.
So have we started confusing the presentation of a relationship with the quality of the relationship itself? Because now, who knows if that guy's intention are genuine?
They are. If you're dating, I would say this. I've been saying this. Please let me say it on air today. You know who you are dating and you know what you are dating. So for the videos of women being beaten by men, you chose to stay regardless.
Love is blind. Love is blind, they say.
I cannot relate. But then if you're dating a kind man, you know that his intentions are pure. If you're dating a man that is not kind, you know that, okay, for that moment, his intention might be lovely, but then something will happen, or maybe basketballs or something regardless, but then, okay, this is a gift that is coming, and you should also like look at his effort. Please, let's learn to appreciate men. It's not easy.
Honestly.
Because if we were to switch roles and you are to do, would you do that? Would you spend almost 1 million naira for a "will you be my girlfriend" proposal? So
No.
we should learn to appreciate the men that do these things. It's not easy to actually work and earn, and then you're just pushing your entire life savings or life worth into a lady because you love her, and then
Suddenly it doesn't turn out well. Most times.
let's appreciate the men that show love. Everybody have their own show of how they show affection. So if his is through the gifts and everything, fine. There are men that gift. There are men that don't gift.
Honestly.
There are men that don't gift. So you should just find a way to balance all of this, and you should learn to appreciate a man. Little efforts, big efforts. Let's appreciate men. Let's show them that men too can be loved. Because even in the media, we're only seeing backlash going back to men. Okay, because a man is decorating a room for you for your birthday, it's now an issue and it's falling back to his character. Let's wise up a little. If a man is doing something good for you, appreciate him, show him that little things do matter. And as a woman, it shouldn't just be a one-way thing where a man can give and give and give and give. I've been seeing a lot of these videos too, but I've not bumped into one. I don't know if you have.
I've bumped into several
I've not
videos
seen
too.
one where a woman is the one that is doing it for a man. Have you?
Yeah.
You've seen
Honestly,
it?
I've seen videos.
That's a queen. Those are queens. But they don't go around the internet.
As much as the men.
Yes. So
yeah.
if a woman can actually decorate a room for her king and be like, king, it's really that little effort no matter. But we are in a society where the ladies growing up now, everybody feel like it is the man's responsibility to do everything for the woman. It goes back to the first video of that woman we're talking about. Husband. So if your husband doesn't pay school fees, your children shouldn't go to school. What mentality is that?
So it doesn't mean your child won't go to school. You will sit back and watch.
It shouldn't be that it's the man that is doing everything. There are beautiful millionaires, billionaires that you see that their wives are doing 50-50 and they don't even talk about it. And I read a post where they said, okay, a woman can actually be like, a man will do everything for me. But if it's not divorce now, you want to come and go and split his money and be like, it's my right. Let's wisen up a little. Let's not let westernization blind us for a change.
So Miriam, can you also point this to competition from the girls' end? Probably she has seen a lot of, remember you said beach, the yacht and all. And probably she has seen her friends or something or several clips on social media. I'm like, no, I don't like the bedroom. Take me somewhere more expensive. Can you also boil that to
Women are highly competitive. And I don't think it's something that will change anytime soon. So yeah, competition is there. But if you don't want the bedroom setting kind of gifts, please, you could actually just tell him, like, you can, if you're with your partner and you want me to do video, be like, oh my God, I don't like this. At least let's have it outdoor. There are lots, even if you message all these organizations, or should I say businesses that do these surprises, they will give you a list of how they do the surprises, and you tell them if it's a restaurant you want, you go to a restaurant. If it's beach you want, please don't be competitive with anybody. Just do you.
And it's actually affecting most relationships now.
It is,
and the fact that social media too is driving the whole country.
That's why we said don't believe anything you see on social media.
Just do what works for you in your relationship. If you know it's the bedroom owner that is going to make you happy, do it. If you know it's the dinner date, the restaurant, do whatever you know is gonna make you happy, sweetheart. So let's just go on a quick break.
Okay.
When we return, go back to our next story. So all right, Miriam, we'll take another quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are still right here on Top Trends on S24 Morning Digest, and there's more to unpack. Right, Miriam? So let's just quickly move into our next story. So this one says, if you're a palm wine tapper or among the poor citizens, 2 children are enough for you. Nigerian rapper Speed Darlington.
You know, Speed is a very
They say Happy says a lot of things and they are true.
Yeah, I watched the video and Speed, I think he's more of a realist. Let's get to the point of it. But we've seen, I'm from the northern part of Nigeria, and I can say that most people would see the northern part as they're highly populated, in the sense that you see, for example, a family who their source of earning, it's true, like they are beggars, let me use that word. And you see that they have a whole lot of children compared to someone that works and earns a good, decent amount of money. So yeah, if you should cut your coat according to your size, it's actually nice, because I see no reason why you would be struggling to eat, to survive for the bare minimum shelter. You're struggling to have the bare minimum, and you have up to 5 to 6 children. What are you trying to show? And most of these children don't even go to school to begin with. There's no school, they're on the street hawking, and they are either joining the bad gangs, or the bad gangs are trying to recruit them. And this is very devastating to see that our community keeps going back instead of going forward. So what Speed said is actually correct. If you must marry and have children within your means, in the sense that one spaghetti, for example, can actually do, like, but then you see people with plenty, and they are struggling to eat. That is how the Almajiri system came to be in northern part of Nigeria. It's not only because the children want to go and school. I've heard firsthand from these Almajiris, these students, where they are recapping their experiences, and they will tell you that it's because my father has 10 children, my stepmother has 5 children, and he said he cannot cater for everybody, so he's taking us to that school so that you reduce burden on his shoulders. So you see, it doesn't actually make sense. And there's civilization even in the hospitals for the women. I think the women need to wise up a little too. Let's not let more people say illiteracy get to you. You would go to the hospital and you see most of these nurses they educate you during antenatal, they educate the women. There's family planning. You can even get it for free in government-owned hospitals. And this would help you at least not only like, it will help you plan your family well. Yeah. And I've heard also from this woman that gives polio vaccination for children, where she was recapping then, she said that she went into this household to give, and then the husband, he's a Muslim northerner, and the husband said that the husband was leaving, and he now called the wife that he saw those women outside, that if she should allow them to give vaccine to his child, he's going to divorce her. That most of this sickness is what would bring impotency in the child's life in future. So I don't know how to actually react to all of these information coming in, because first and foremost, most people live, I'm coming from a northern perspective, northern Nigeria, because we all live in ignorance. What is happening in the north, you won't see it happening in the west, because they have the vast knowledge about all of these little things. If you want to have a child, you should be able to, like, okay, I'm having a child today, and
Yeah.
I should be able to like pay for his school fees to a certain level. And there are government schools that are quite free. The UBE came with the free foundational education for children. Take your children to school is an issue. Feed the children is an issue. Clothe the children is another issue. Then why are you bringing a lot of people to the family? You'll see men telling their wives that if you do family planning, I will divorce you. How
Wow.
does that even make sense? It is that bad that you just keep on bringing children that you can't even cater for. And then the end of the day, they're on the streets looking for. We've seen little children for as low as... I remembered when I was in Jos back then, there's this, in my aunt's house, there's this boy. He's nothing more, he's not up to 2 years. And he was pushed to Almajiri. And she told him that every day if he comes, she puts hot water, he bathes. She feeds him like her own child. The first day she saw him, she cried. That how can a mother be that, doesn't have, like, how can't you have that empathy to just send your little child away because you have a lot of children in your keep and they are just too much for you? So yeah, what he said is true. It's true, please.
So this
Plan your
says
children well.
Nigeria has about 133 million people living in multidimensional poverty. Can telling poor people to have fewer children solve that problem?
Yes, it can. Please, it can. We have been seeing a situation. I've heard situations where you see children being involved in, let's say, criminal activities, and mostly children are also trafficked, both for human and for other things.
Yeah.
Yes. So you see, if we should reduce the way we give birth to children, I'm not saying you should not give birth, please. But then if you have a family, you should be able to plan your family. Most people plan their families before getting married. If you're in courtship stage, you tell your husband, okay, how many kids do you want? You plan it. So even if you want 3 children and eventually life happens and you have set of triplets or twins, you'll be able to like plan it. And so if we should reduce the way we just give birth and toss the children out, it's more like we're indirectly giving the community our children to train. And yes, the community do play an important part in training children. But then if you should do this, please, you should be able to like, okay, I'm taking my child to school, let the person be independent on his own. Nigerian's population, it's going so far. And we've not had census for a very long time. So you would know that these figures are not quite correct.
Yes.
If you're to have the right census to check the population of Nigerian children, you see that there are a lot. Population is more than what the index is telling you. So now, if you keep giving birth, there are no jobs, no schools, nothing, no food. And then what do you expect? You're like bringing Nigerians' economy down because this is already a major issue that is not being tackled. There are a lot of pressing issues, but this is a main issue that is not being tackled. So we have overpopulation. What is the way out?
Also, the economic condition has a way of playing in all this thing, because if it's stable, I don't see why there's a problem in having the amount of children you want. Because tell me why the cost of feeding, you mentioned clothing and everything, is high. And probably you want 3 children, and the one you can afford is just 1 or 2. It boils down to the situation we find ourselves in this country, whereas we cannot even afford the basic necessity. We can't afford the basic things for ourselves. We can't even to drink water. We have to just everything is struggling. We're all struggling.
Sachet water too is expensive.
So you see, so I feel like if we're in a stable economy, standard of living will be actually okay for us.
Well, we've seen stable economy like in other countries where they actually have limits to children, like China. They have limits to a certain amount of child the household should have. So why shouldn't Nigeria implement? I don't even think it's even something Nigeria can implement in the first place, because why will you tell someone who paid a wife's bride price, for example, and paid all the rights and married her, and you come and tell that you must have 4 children. If you have 4 children, it can't work.
And the comparison between the rich and the poor, some people are saying the rich man are picking you have only 2, then you, the poor person, you're having 5, 7,
why?
and everything.
You see a woman would have 10 children, which like 5 of them is 2 CS. You'd be like, don't you treasure your body? I don't know. I don't understand these things yet, but it is what it is.
So let's just go through some of the comments,
please,
under that video. This is like the interesting part.
I love comment sections.
So this one says, highest 3, but poor people delusionally born more to increase the chance of their children being rich. When I saw this, I was like, How true is this?
This is the first time I'm hearing this. So you give birth to 20 children so that one will get rich for you?
Is it the ideology of African parents?
No, it's the Lulu.
The Lulu, right? Then this one said, now only happy they talk truth for this country. Another person said, he's making sense. Even if you are not a palm wine tapper and you can only barely eat 2 square meals, please don't have more than 2 kids or even 1.
One of my friends said, if you're not working, if you're not anything above 200K, don't marry. Don't go and suffer this daughter.
I think Nigeria, we already have a fixed amount that if you're earning like this, you should actually marry. But if you're any less than that, just focus on yourself.
Because it's the mentality. It still goes back to the first woman video. It's the mentality that a man should do everything. A man should do everything. So you're barely earning and you have a wife to shoulder, you have children, the kids, the school fees, the health. It's too much. Please, let's appreciate men sometimes.
This one said, and he's right. How can a bus driver be having 7 kids? As how now? As how?
But then also, my dear, people that do all these menial jobs, they get money past you where they do 9 to 5.
How sure? How can we prove that? Is there any data?
See, there was this day that I saw this beggar. The money he brought out from his sack, you'd be like, beggar, they get this kind of money. So you see, you can't.
Honestly, this one said, gone are the days where children they bring blessings. Now that serious responsibility that they bring. Oh, true.
Nigeria is hard, guy. If you are to pay a child's school fees now, if you hear the money, you say go shock. You go pay school fees, do clothes. Now, common material now in the market, you not hear it.
Honestly,
feeding. Eventually, if the child falls sick, you go to hospital, follow long queues, and you be sick. Things are hard for people.
So I said 2 safe, done too much. 1 is okay. No con they suffer innocent children.
Exactly.
Nigerians. And then the last on our list says, that's actually the truth for once. The economy isn't looking good and families need to stop having children they can't protect.
That's it. You stop having children you cannot protect. Thank you.
So 1 word for happy.
Do you. You will still suffer, but suffer with your full shares.
So what can you say to the average Nigerians about this?
Please, just plan your family well and make sure that anything you do should fall against your means. Don't go over so that you won't exhaust yourself before you eventually die.
So should society control family size or focus on making sure every child has a decent life?
Every child should have a decent life. I think it should be Nigeria's topmost priority right now because the children falls back to the economy. What they do, good or bad, falls back to the country.
So this one, is the real problem the number of the children or the inability to provide for them?
Both.
Both?
Yes. Leave it like that.
So if you have I disagree. If you have the means, you can actually go for what you want. But if you don't have the means, I don't see any reason you're having
as I said,
5, 6,
I'm
7
not explaining
children.
myself. Thank you, Gladys.
So let's get to this last one. Is telling poor people to have fewer children insensitive or simply realistic?
It's simply realistic. Let's educate them more, actually. Let's hold seminars, conferences. Hospitals should educate them more because I see most people still don't know what they are doing. So please. If you fall under the poor category, if I must say, please have little children so that you will not be walking on the road and be talking to yourself.
So honestly, we've heard everything we've been discussing so far, and how was the whole conversation?
Let's clock it.
So you've heard everything, and so far it has been engaging and everything.
Thank you
so
very much.
That's a wrap on today's Top Trends. Miriam, it was great having you here as our guest. And to everyone watching out there, thank you for staying with us and being part of this lovely conversation. I am your host, Gladys Asuko, and this has been Top Trends on S24 Morning Digest. Until next time, keep the conversation alive and stay tuned to what's trending. Bye for now.